What does God look like? What do you see?
We're solar-powered biological AI.
Wait, what?
These ancient adversarial entities, I think it's the very same ones that rebelled against God and were cast out.
They were sent here to guide us in antiquity, and they took advantage of that and just masqueraded as gods. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Gods of the Morning Wood, aka Esoteric Book Review. I don't know what happened to Twitter. I had to cut it because it wouldn't let me add YouTube in. Real weird. I guess my StreamYard kicked my plan. I don't know. I had to get a new debit card.
Okay.
So maybe it tried to take the payment out and it declined. So we can only stream to the 3 destinations.
Let's see.
The 2 rumbles.
I have just JC on my stream. We can move JC around. He's already watching it everywhere. If you need to put in your Twitter.
I mean, well, I just had to take it out to put the YouTube in.
Yeah.
So I
Or
hope
put in the
on Twitter aren't mad. I really don't care, to be honest with you guys. Good morning. Good morning. Rat, Subliminal. How we doing, boys?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are we Cornholio today? Right?
Yeah. Well, we
Let
have
me
our
TP
robes
from my
on.
bunghole.
This is a part it's become a common theme of the show, right? The robes, which we will probably incorporate into stickers eventually, guys. So
Now we're going to incorporate the robes into a robe.
Well, that too. Yeah, that's the plan for the future. Hope everybody had a good week. Subliminal, was that a Labubu?
Yes. Oh, you saw it?
I see it.
Yeah, I see you too. Yes, it is a Labubu.
Yeah,
Boo-boo's watching.
saw him in there.
It's a gay one.
Oh, what's his name?
I don't know. I didn't name it.
Is there a not
Name
gay
himself.
Labubu?
It's in the
gay.
eyes. It's got rainbow eyes. The other ones don't have rainbow eyes.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Want to see?
Well, I
I
mean,
can bring it closer.
depending on how many people are on your Rumble,
One, just JC.
it's just JC.
And he's good. He's good to watch the other streams. I know.
So, what do you think we should do? Do you think we should open
Mathematically, you might set up your Twitter. Mathematically, if there's more viewers,
Okay.
just do it.
Okay.
Just do what you gotta do.
Oh, damn it!
It's cool. I have a song for them anyway. I can break them off with the song and then close it. Rat's like, no.
Rat's like, okay.
What song? Yeah, it's a new song.
Rat's like, why do y'all care about this fucking shit? Why do y'all?
No. It's not a
No,
song.
It's AI.
It's not a song.
Wait, is
It's not a. It's not a creation of any human being.
It's a creation of a billion legions
It's
And
the
my
creation of Legion. Yeah.
on my finger.
Yeah. Morning,
It's called-
Paige. We have some of the lady grapists in the house. Paige and Lucia, 2 top tier Patreon members who I appreciate a lot.
Morning.
Ladies, good morning. Hope y'all are having a peaceful morning and all is well in your households. Let's see. I mean, look, we can add. God damn it! Why would StreamYard do that?
Because it hates you.
Why the fuck would they? Dude, I've had the same.
Is there a
plan for the
limit?
last 2 years. I should be able to stream to Twitter, Rumble, another Rumble, and YouTube, and more. Fucking the Occult Rejects, Twitch, and YouTube, and Headless is YouTube. We stream to a bunch of. So I'm kind of pissed that they would do this last night. Well, I guess I streamed to 3 destinations last night. yeah, so I should have told Austin, hey, stream to one of your places, and then he would have been like, I can't. I'd have been like, wait, let me check, and then I would have
Tested
seen
it.
this
Well, if you need
error.
to cut my Rumble, it's still one viewer. Holding strong. JC, thank you.
Well, guys, if you're watching on Subliminals Rumble, come on over to the Patreon or come on over to the YouTube or Twitter. This will be fixed next week. We will have both Rumbles, or we'll have the private Rumble link, the YouTube, the public Rumble link, and the Twitter all set up. So, all right, everyone on the D2A Rumble, that being JC, you can come over to the private link. See you in a second. All right, let's add Twitter back in, guys. I need to apologize.
To get the 80s poppy handsome wedget song.
I know, right? They get the song and then they get nothing,
You can
right?
do it out. That's okay.
They're probably like, what the fuck? Fuck this guy.
Bad song. On the way out.
Hey, Twitter, what's up? Sorry about that. We had to cut one of the Rumble stream. Yeah. To add y'all back in. Sorry about that. We kind of teased y'all with a few songs, and then you probably got well, I don't know. Maybe you got upset, maybe you didn't. But we added y'all back in, at least for the first hour of the show. We may have some more of our friends coming and joining us. So yeah. How are you doing this morning, guys? Or
Doing well.
y'all doing good? Good.
Yep.
Well, we got a couple books today that we're going to get into. Number one, I guess we'll start out with this one because it's the most exciting. Beelzebubs Tells to His Grandson, which is written by Gurdjieff, right? And this
Gurdjieff.
Yeah, and this is about this basically an alien god traveling back to his home planet, relating stories of his past lives to his grandson, right? His past lives living on Earth. I mean,
Yeah, something like that. But every single bit of it has some sort of initiatory, deeper, esoteric meaning. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's something. When I first read it years ago, I think I may have listened to the audiobook on YouTube, and it's read in a real creepy voice, and but yeah, didn't understand it. I kind of found it to be a little boring because I didn't understand it. But now I'm sure, with
who knows? It might still be
current
very
understanding
boring.
of the esoteric and the occult. Well, exactly. It could just be shit. But we're gonna get into that, and then the second half of the show, where we will go to Patreon. We will be reading the Oera, so that's going to be fun. And been talking about that for a while as well, so we're finally getting into that. Before we get started, guys, y'all want to spin the wheel for next week in case one of y'all got to get out of here?
9 a.m. will be my regular.
Okay, so y'all can chill the whole time.
Yeah, up to 9 a.m. I can do. Wheel of Names. Do we want to do the rig wheel or the other wheel?
Want to do which wheel are we spinning?
The Manly P. Hall wheel
or Jules' wheel?
Oh, it is kind of.
It's your wheel. My wheel's too complex. It's too.
Well, we can
too thick.
always.
I'm not around.
Wheel, but here, let's look at this wheel that we have.
Let's spin your wheel, Jules.
As long as the Pistis Sophia is on your wheel, I'm happy. That's what I'm trying to read that again.
It is. I convinced him to put it there.
I'm good with that.
Is there anything that
it's there? It's there.
Huh?
Nothing new that I could think of to add. Nothing new came up. I honestly haven't been looking for new books. We have so many already here.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to just read what I have right now. Unless you want to read a government document, are you open to that? Are you open to reading a government document on here, like a FBI disclosure kind of thing, synopsis kind of thing? Should I be vague?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be cool with that. I'd be cool with anything, to be honest.
It would be okay. I don't know when it would come up on my show, but it's if you've seen The Men Who Stare at Goats and that division, the psionic division in that movie, well, the pamphlet that they gave their soldiers. Would you guys be interested in reading that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's got like
Y'all hear that interference? Is that one of your phones? Maybe I'm just hearing something. I don't know. Something happened on my end last night with Austin where I had to leave the show and come back. Start talking about the Jews or something. I don't know. Let's spin the wheel. You want to spin the wheel, or are you going to add that book in? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Check. Okay. I didn't know you weren't saying anything.
We can hear you, man.
Okay, cool. All right. So hopefully people are back on Twitter watching us. If not, I understand. I probably upset you. But you know,
They're doom scrolling, Jules. It's fine.
they'll come back to me. It's fine. Yeah. They'll be like, "Wait a minute,
They're
he's
doom
back."
scrolling. If it pops up again, they'll stick around. If not, then they're
They're lost.
it's Saturday morning. They're still in bed.
Oh,
Gilgsy.
so Epic. All right, Epic of Gilgamesh next week, guys. Fuck yeah,
All right.
let's go. And let's
And the
go.
second one? Hey, let's
go, dude.
let's go. Hey, let's go.
All right. I will.
I'm gonna come.
Shop. Y'all better come. Y'all better come for this.
So Pistis.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of mad Gnostic shit talking all over the internet, and
Wow.
I'm kind of
Yeah,
annoyed
yeah,
with
yeah.
it.
I was hoping to land on the Nag Hammadi, if not, because I was kind of wanting to look at that as well. But this is
We
good.
could always
Good.
choose.
And this is, I think we're like part 3. This would be, I think this next episode on the Pistis Sophia will be like part 3 on it. So
Yeah, it would be part 3.
If y'all haven't seen the last 2, go over to Patreon and you can find all the other esoteric book reviews. There are at least 40 of them. So that's a lot of content.
Is a bit of content.
Yeah, that's at least like a couple weeks. Seriously, if you were to listen to it every day, go through each of these book reviews. We've already finished a few of the books. But there's a lot of these that we've had on the list for a while. So anyway, so that's for next week, guys. It's for next week. Let's go ahead and open the book that we're going to be reading this morning. That Beelzebub's tail suit. Subby, do you want to open that, or
I found a couple files that I sent out to the to your Discord, so hopefully I have the right thing. This is one of Rat's books, or one of your guys's, so I'm guessing is this it?
has to be it?
Does it have the forward at the start? Friendly note?
No.
That's all and everything. That's not
Well, it talks about Beelzebub. Okay, well I have another one.
Do you want to read the forward to kind of give an introduction on who Beelzebub is, or do I need to like talk about well, for people who don't know, this is an ancient Phoenician Canaanite deity, originally
That's it, yeah.
from Baal Zebul, Lord of the Flies, right? And Baal coming from Bel. I mean, it's really interchangeable. You see Bel in the Bible mentioned tons of times, and people probably don't even think about it. Bel, which is he was a storm god, right? Translate it's really the Mesopotamian entity or deity Marduk. But so looking at this now, you see like, okay, is this Marduk relating his stories and his multiple incarnations to his grandson? And I mean, he would have a grandson. These people or these beings, these entities in these ancient stories, they had children and grandchildren and all that. So but it's just a different telling, like that he's going to a planet called Karnak, which I think is used in pop culture quite a lot. So maybe they were channeling something that was in the collective consciousness. This was a channeled text, right?
No, it wasn't.
This was copied.
This
Like
is-
this was translated from a older scroll or something, or
Well, I guess if you put it that way, it's channeled, but it is fiction.
right.
Yeah.
So,
So Gurdjieff wrote this as a way to impart his teachings in a non-direct way, so that the reader themselves can come to the conclusion that is Gurdjieff's teachings and not be told the teachings. It's a part of the work. It's a matter of you don't really have understanding of this unless you yourself come to an understanding of this.
okay.
And so this
Maybe he uses attributes from this certain god, or I don't know. There's something in there that title. Okay, Beelzebub is next in title and power after Lucifer. Well, that would make more sense. Okay, and when you go back into the ancient stories, Bel being son of Enki, Enki being the Samael archetype, Lucifer, more and so not you could say worshipped as Lucifer, but we know that Lucifer's not really when it's mentioned in the Bible, it's not referring to a deity in particular. It's really referring to a king that he's talking about, but it's referring to Venus, the morning star.
It uses Lucifer very specifically. That term, the Latin Vulgate, uses the term Lucifer twice, and that is in reference to the morning star in the Old Testament. That is, I believe, in reference to one of the kings of Jerusalem, or
I think Isaiah is talking to him. Maybe.
Yeah. And the second time Lucifer is used, it's Jesus himself describing himself in the book of Revelation in the New Testament. So those are the two times it's used.
Oh, so this is this should be interesting. Is there a Ford that you do want to read on it, Sub, or
it's probably Rat's bad.
Well, hey, yeah, I mean, whichever one of you guys want to start out. Go ahead and like the stream, guys. Share it. Get some people in here. We will be cutting it probably in under an hour from all the from the X and YouTube. We'll be going straight to the private Rumble link. So if you're not in there, get in where you fit in on the Patreon. It's a good way to support the show too, and you may get some free shit. So.
And this is the friendly advice that starts the book off. Now, the way it's told is that Gurdjieff brought this entire manuscript to the printer, and he just said, "Print this." But before he printed it, right on the spot, he wrote this down. He said, "Also print this." And this is what it's translated. Of course, he spoke very many languages, but this was in Russian. So it's translated to English. So this whole book is translated, but pretty well translated from what I. Friendly advice.
Can you see that?
Impromptu by the author.
Sorry.
I got my own copy too. So,
cool.
That's a lot better. According to the numerous deductions and conclusions resulting from my research concerning the profit contemporary people can obtain from new impressions coming from what they read or hear, and also according to the thought of one of the sayings of popular wisdom I've just remembered, handed down to our days from very ancient times, any prayer may be heard and granted by the higher powers only if it is uttered thrice. First, for the welfare or the peace of the souls of one's parents. Second, for the welfare of one's neighbor, and only third, for oneself personally. I find it necessary on the first page of this book, now ready for publication, to give the following advice. Read each of my written expositions thrice. First, at least as you have already become mechanized to read all your contemporary books and newspapers. Second, as if you were reading aloud to another person. And only third, try to fathom the gist of my writings. Only then will you be able to count upon forming your own impartial judgment, proper to yourself alone, on my writings. And only then can my hope be actualized that according to your understanding you will obtain the specific benefit for yourself which I anticipate, which I wish for you with all my being. So he's saying read it 3 times, read it once, just normally as you would read anything. And the second time, read it out loud so you actually get a feel of the words. And then only the third time you're reading it, should you try to begin to understand or attempt to understand what's actually being said. I think we're going to try and skip all first 2 steps in this reading. So
I'm okay with that.
it's going to be bad. We're not going to get what Gurdjieff wants us to get from it. But for the sake of EBR,
Yeah.
for the sake of the gods of the morning wood,
For the sake of the gods of the morning wood. Right.
we're going to do what we can.
Put our 3 brains together and cut through that. Also, but you guys watch this video 3 times to really get the best
Yes,
understanding.
there we go.
Complete the ritual. Yeah, to get the
Oh, my
knowledge.
goodness.
Right.
First time, watch this video as though you're just watching any video online. Second time, watch this video and pretend as though you're in the chat with us, talking to us. And third time, try to understand what we're saying.
Yeah, try to understand it. There you go.
As you're wrapping up to do this, Rat, we're getting 33, 33, and 11 viewers on the timestamps.
There we
here.
go.
I'm flipping out.
Of course.
Don't do that again, Rat. Stripping me out.
Of course.
33,
Mystic
33,
Rat,
and
Mystic
11.
Rat.
What are you talking about? What's all this?
Synchronicities. Let's go.
What's going on here? All right, guys. We're going to go ahead.
You don't know the rule of 3s. You don't know the rule of 7s. It's all right. Maybe we'll find out in this book. Maybe not.
Are you still struggling to lose
Oh, my
weight?
God.
How well you eat or how much
The
you
fuck
eat
is going on?
Back in
Fucking
1912,
rumble, dude.
This is a sign of yeast growth.
Why? Why would you do that? All right, go ahead. So
Okay. Chapter 1, The Arousing of Thought. Among all the convictions formed in my common presence during my responsible, peculiarly composed life, there is one unshakable conviction that people, whatever the degree of development of their understanding and whatever the form taken by the factors present in their individuality for engendering all kinds of ideals, always and everyone on earth feel the imperative need, on beginning anything new, to pronounce aloud, or if not aloud, at least mentally, that particular invocation understandable to even the most ignorant person, which has been formulated in different ways in different epochs, and in our day is expressed in the following words: in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. Amen. That is why I
muted
now.
Jules, by the way.
thank you.
That is why I now also, and set forth in this adventure quite new for me, namely authorship, begin my pronouncing this invocation. I pronounce it not only aloud, but even very distinctly, and as in the ancient Tulicites used to say, with a fully manifested intonation. Of course, only to the extent permitted by data already formed in my whole presence and thoroughly rooted in it for such a manifestation data, by the way, which is generally formed in a man's nature during his preparatory years, and which later during his responsible life determine the character of his vivifyingness of such an intonation. Having begun thus, I can now quite at ease, and should even, according to contemporary notions of religious morality, be completely assured that from now on everything in this new venture of mine will proceed as is said, like pianola. All right. So he's having us say this. I guess if you're not Christian, you probably had never said this before. And he comes from like an Eastern tradition, so interesting that he would start with this and not like a.
But he says here that this is a mantra that's been said in very many different ways in very many different epochs. Like it's a mantra that's always been said in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, this Holy Spirit. Amen.
Mhm.
But that saying itself has been. It's just a different way of saying the same thing that's been said for a long time, which, is like in the name of the higher powers or whatever. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But
what's
we're
really
I'm
manifested-
skimming to step 3 right here.
intonation here. I don't know if I said it properly. And what is pianola? Do you know what this is?
No, let me look it up real quick. What is a pianola?
like a pianola. Maybe it's like a little piano.
It's a piano equipped to be played automatically using a piano roll. So
Okay.
there's pianos in the bars that play themselves. The pianola.
All right, here we go. In any case, should I wait for Jules to come back? Yeah.
I'm here. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We're just right on time. They don't want to go on without you. In any case, this is the way I have begun, and how the rest will go. I can only say, as the blind man put it, we shall see. First and foremost, I shall place my hand more over the right one, which, although at the moment is slightly injured due to an accident that recently befell me, is nevertheless really my own, and has never once failed me in all my life, on my heart. So, hand to the heart. Of
And on the
course,
heart.
Also my own, but on the constancy of
Like the hidden hand
inconstancy
on-
of this part of my whole, I see no need to expatiate here, and frankly confess that I myself had not the slightest wish to write, but am constrained to do so by circumstances quite independent of me. Though whether these circumstances arose accidentally or created intentionally by extraneous forces, I do not yet know. I only know what these circumstances bid me write, not just some trifle for reading one to sleep, but thick and weighty tomes. So is this fate, or did he get?
This
There's
is so
there's
he
no
wrote.
coincidences.
He started writing. So he hosted a school. Gurdjieff hosted a school, like an esoteric secret society type of school, where these people were trying to achieve enlightenment through his fourth way method. And then he got into a car accident. He was hit by a car, and then he switched over to authorship, writing, because of that. So this is shortly after he got hit by a car. So he's actually talking about his loss of use of his right arm. That's a very physical, real thing for him. He got hit by a car.
Okay, so that actually happened.
Yeah, that actually happened. He got hit by a car.
Did he gain some type of like metaphysical power after losing a physical?
He's always had it.
Did that get like stronger? Right. Did that power develop into something greater?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, that goes to what I was saying. Like, maybe he was channeling an entity, right? Using this particular name. It's very random name to use, right? The Lord of the Flies. Maybe it is symbolic.
100% it is.
Yeah. But you gotta ask those questions, right? Because we know that these spirits exist.
Yeah, he could
Gurdjieff was one of those
any god or any demon, but like this very kind of specific. I think.
Well, yeah,
Gurdjieff is one of those fellows.
Beelzebub,
Yeah. Gurdjieff was one of those fellows at the turn of the 20th century. He was one of those fellows that, like, he knew everything there was to know, like every single practice, like the definitive Renaissance man who just could do anything and everything. He knew anything and everything there was to know at the time. Obviously, knowledge is expanded. It's kind of hard to be a jack of all trades nowadays, but at the time, he kind of, if there was a study, if there was a practice, you could be assured that Gurdjieff was aware and knowledgeable of that study and practice and had thoughts and feelings and opinions on it.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear more of the book. However, that maybe I begin, but begin with what? Oh, the devil. So here right away. Thank you. Oh,
There
the
we go.
devil. Well, there indeed be repeated the strange and extremely unpleasant sensation it befell me to experience about 3 weeks ago. So when he got hit by a car. While I was composing in my thoughts the scheme or sequence of the ideas I intend to publish, I did not know then either how to begin. This sensation I could only describe in these words: the fear of drowning in the overflow of my own thoughts. It's like starting to write, starting to make something, a project. To stop this disagreeable sensation, I might still have had recourse to that maleficent property inherent in me, as in all contemporary people, which enables us, without experiencing any remorse or conscience whatever, to put off anything we wish to do till tomorrow. I wish I could have done this very easily because before beginning the actual writing, there seemed to be plenty of time. But today, this is no longer so, and cost what it may. Even though I burst, I must begin. But begin what? Aha, eureka! Almost all the books I have happened to read in my life have begun with a preface, so I too must begin with something of the kind. I say of the kind because of my entire life, from the moment I began to distinguish a boy from a girl, I have always done everything, absolutely everything, not as it is done by the other, like myself, biped destroyers of nature's good. There, that's what he thinks of us.
Yeah.
The biped destroyers.
Yeah.
All right. Therefore, useless eaters, biped destroyers is good.
Useless eaters, biped destroyers of nature's good. Come on. Here we go.
Gobbling up the spice. What is it? Cyslop. Gobble that
Yeah,
Cyslop.
dude, Cyclops, dude. Me and Austin were, I
That's
announced
good.
it
That's a
last
good
night.
one.
It's going to be the new term. Yeah, Cyclop, because these psyops are so fucking sloppy. We need better ones.
Just eat it up. Move on to the next meal, like bad meal. Eat it up next.
You can
next
predict
meal.
them now, dude. Like it's like a multiple choice thing. It's like what will be next?
A race bait, a gun grab. Which one?
A honeypot?
Yeah, that should be like the different cereal boxes. Cyslop, and it's got like gun grab on the box and
Dude, let's fucking
honey
go.
pot.
These are new sticker ideas, guys.
All right, good.
We also got some new designs we're gonna share at the end of the show. So y'all go over to the Patreon if y'all aren't members yet. You know, this is the more people join the Patreon, we can start to do more of these maybe. And
how much is left? Oh my goodness.
There's a ton. There's chapter one's
There's a ton?
huge.
Okay. Therefore, I ought now, and I am perhaps even bound on principle to begin not as any other writer would. In any case, instead of conventional preface, I shall begin quite simply with a warning. Beginning with a warning will be the most judicious of my part, if only because it will not contradict any of my principles, whether organic, psychic, or even willful. At the same time, it will be quite honest, of course, in the objective sense, since I expect without the least doubt, as do all those who know me well, that owing to my writings, they will entirely disappear in the majority of readers, immediately and not gradually, as sooner or later, most occur to everyone that all treasures they have acquired, either by inheritance or by their own labor, in the form of quieting notions that evoke only romantic images of their present lives or naive dreams about the future. Professional writers usually begin with such introduction. So it's just we're going to forget the book?
No. What he's saying is this is a warning. If you read this, a majority of readers are going to lose everything that they treasured. So that being their physical wealths, their possessions, either by inheritance or their own labor, and
their knowledge, as
their ideas, their concepts of reality, all of that stuff. So that's his warning.
I misinterpreted. I thought it meant like there's treasures in the book and we just won't get them. We're gonna read it and we just won't get the treasures that's in the book. That's kind of what I get from this. Quieting notions that evoke only romantic images of their present lives and naive dreams about the future. Yeah, to me, this is like we're gonna miss the treasure because we're gonna just be too naive and romantic to get what he's actually talking about.
Yeah,
is what I think. Professional writers usually begin such introductions with an address to the reader full of all kinds of bombastic, magniloquent, and so to say, honey-eyed and inflated phrases. In this alone, I shall follow their example and also begin with an address to the reader. But I shall try not to make it as sugary as they usually do with their evil wiseacring. By which they titillate the sensibilities for the more or less normal reader. Thus, my dear, okay, so he's not going to bait and switch us. He's not going to honeypot us.
Yeah.
Thus, my dear, highly honored, strong-willed, and of course, very patient sirs and madams, and my very dear, charming, and impartial ladies. Dude, I'm sorry, Gurdjieff. I didn't even have to do that. Wow.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Also, like, just don't worry. Gurdjieff is a progressive man in terms of the modern sensibilities, an extremely conservative person in terms of like his ideology. But he hosted a women's only secret society that was focused on the fourth way. After this car crash incident, he had a group of women in France, I believe, and it was just it was all about enlightenment for women, because he felt that
some, like weird harem thing.
no, it wasn't.
So
It wasn't.
he had like a priestess class, so to say. He
I mean,
started
yeah,
up-
if you,
yeah.
you put it that way, yeah.
Interesting.
I think most of them were lesbians too. I think that's
Okay.
that's another thing. So it's like this was in the
There's a
30s
lot
or the
of
40s,
priestessing
so it was
going
early.
on over there.
But they were doing some priestess type of stuff. You know what I
opening
mean?
the portal. But
No, actually, the opposite of opening the portal. They aren't
they're
doing anything
closing
to that
the
portal, really. They're
Oh.
like kind of
well,
rubbing portals together, not really
Yeah.
opening them up. You know what I mean?
joining them. I don't know how that works. We're not lesbians. So
Portal scissoring.
okay. Rat knows about that. So
I can educate you.
Have you heard about his Wolf Club for Men?
Wolf Club. What's this Wolf Club?
Have you heard about the Wolf
a
Club for Men?
Like a wolf lodge?
No, it's the Church of the Partial Lunar Moon, something
Ah,
like that. I don't know. We're still figuring it out.
interesting.
Little
Anyway,
household
it started officially on the Wolf Moon, and every Wolf Moon is a proprietary holiday for the cult members. Join my cult, guys.
Join our cult.
No, this
I'm not
one's
a part of
this
it.
is my this is
Oh,
a
Rat has
personal,
his own cult. Okay,
I'm not
this
in
is
it.
a
Yeah, I'm
personal
not in it.
undertaking. Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't heard about this.
I'm a member of a
Yeah.
few cults. You have to understand.
Good morning.
All right.
My dear, can I run through this, or do you want to take it? You want to take this one?
All right. Thus, my dear, highly honored, strong-willed, and of course very patient sirs, and my very dear, charming, and impartial ladies, forgive me, I have omitted the most important, my in no wise hysterical ladies. I have the honor to inform. I have the honor to inform you that although, due to circumstances that have arisen in one of the later stages of my life, I am now going to write books. During my whole life, I've never written a single book or instructive article or even a letter in which it was necessary to observe what is called grammaticality. So that although I am about to become a professional writer, I have no practice at all in the established rules and procedures or in what is called bon ton literary language. I'm therefore constrained to write not as ordinary patented writers do, to whose form of writing you are in all probability as much accustomed to as to your own smell. In my opinion, what will be troublesome for you in all of this is chiefly that in childhood there was implanted in you and has now become perfectly harmonized with your general psyche an excellently working automatism for perceiving all kinds of new impressions. Thanks to which blessing you have now, during your responsible life, no need to make any individual effort whatsoever. To speak frankly, I personally see the central point of my confession not in my lack of experience in the rules and procedures of writers, but in my ignorance of what I have called bon ton literary language, required in contemporary life, not only of authors, but even of all ordinary mortals. As regards the former, that is to say, my lack of experience in the rules and procedures of writers, I'm not greatly disturbed. And I am not disturbed because in the life of contemporary people, this lack of experience is in the order of things. This new blessing arose and is flourishing everywhere on earth, thanks to the extraordinary disease which, for the last 20 or 30 years, for some reason or other, has afflicted all those persons from among the three sexes who sleep with half open eyes, and whose faces are fertile soil for the growth of every kind of pimple. This strange disease is manifested thus: if the invalid is somewhat literate and his rent is paid for 3 months in advance, he, she, or it inevitably starts writing some instructive article, if not a whole book. Knowing all about this new human disease and its epidemic spread on Earth, I naturally have the right to assume that you have acquired immunity to it, as the medical experts would say, and that you will therefore not be too indignant in my lack of experience in the rules and procedures of writers. That's why I make the center of gravity of my warning my ignorance of bon ton literary language. In self-justification, and also perhaps to lessen the disapproval in your waking consciousness of my ignorance of this language indispensable for contemporary life, I consider it necessary to say, with humble heart and cheeks flushed with shame, that although I too was taught this language in my childhood, and although some of my elders who prepared me for a responsible life constantly forced me, without sparing any means of intimidation, to learn by rote the host of nuances that in their totality compose this contemporary delight, yet unfortunately, of course for you, of all that I learned by rote, nothing stuck, and nothing whatever has survived from my present activities as a writer. And if nothing stuck, it was not through any fault of mine or of my former respected and non-respected teachers. His human labor was spent in vain owing to an unexpected and quite exceptional event that occurred at the moment of my appearance on God's earth, at which moment, as a certain well-known European occultist explained to me after very minute what are called psychophysico-astrological investigations, though the hole in the window pane made by our crazy lame goat, there poured vibrations of sound from an Edison phonograph in the neighbor's house, while the midwife who delivered me had in her mouth a lozenge saturated with cocaine of German make, moreover, not ersatz, which she was sucking to the sound of the music without the proper enjoyment. Aside from this event, rare in the everyday life of people, my present situation also came about because later in my preparatory and adult life, as I must confess, I myself surmised after long reflection based on the method of German professor Herr Stuffischmuschen, I always, both instinctively and automatically, and sometimes even consciously, that is, on principle, avoided using this language for intercourse with others. I manifested myself thus in regards to this trifle, perhaps not such a trifle, thanks to 3 data formed in my entirety during my preparatory age, about which data I intend to inform you in this first chapter of my writings. However that may be, the fact remains, illuminated from every side like an American advertisement, which fact cannot now be changed by any forces, even with the know-how of the experts in monkey business, that I, who have in recent years been considered by many people a rather good teacher of temple dances, have today become a professional writer and will, of course, write a great deal. As it has been proper to me since childhood, whenever I do anything to do a great deal of it. Nevertheless, not having, as you see, the automatically acquired and automatically manifested practice needed for this, I shall be obliged to write all I have thought out in plain, simple, everyday language established by life, without any literary manipulations or grammatical wiseacrings. Goes on. He goes
Why
on.
didn't he eat the goat? That crazy lame goat? They would have eaten it.
Yeah.
It's breaking windows. It's no good.
Do you think we should
Skip to the
we shouldn't-
Beelzebub part?
we shouldn't, right? Because it's probably something extremely important here.
Okay.
His writing is insane.
No, keep going then.
All right. I can take. You want to swap again? I'll take this page.
For
Did you freeze? Oh, no, you're not
Oh,
frozen.
no, go ahead. Yeah, sure.
Maybe my voice.
Okay. Yeah. We could do page for page if you want, because this looks like Blavatskyisms. These Eastern traditions. They don't have no TV or something.
He had no TV.
But the pot is not yet full. I have still not decided, and I have to also read with disdain for humans, right? Because they crashed into me.
Yeah.
They're all pimply faced assholes.
Well,
my
not
goat's
just
good,
that,
though.
but like even before he got hit by a car, he was like, "Yeah, people are machines. They don't really. People are automatons. You are an automaton, and you are not a person until you realize that you are who you are. You know, and until then, you are just a robot."
Did he?
It does have kind of like a disdain for
Is he speaking of like human
the
consciousness,
common man,
right? Like, will you
the
remain
unawakened
this
human,
NPC,
something like that.
like kind of, you know, what you said, kind of like a robot. If you don't wake up to some of these
His
truths.
wish is that all will wake up. He knows for a fact that not everyone will wake up. He's kind of the first person to come up with the NPC idea, or
Cool.
where
Okay.
this whole thing is like you go day by day just doing the things that you know to do, not because you choose to do it, not because you are yourself an individual, a being with consciousness in regards to what you do, but just because you are an automaton designed to do something. This is the turn of the century. This is when industrialization is really big, and people more and more are becoming machines in a factory to make cars, the exact car that ran him over. So he's speaking about things that even today ring true. Like you go to your work. Are you thinking about whatever you're doing, or are you just kind of going through your day? If you go on a walk, if you go on a walk, do you know where you're walking? If you make food, do you know what you're doing? Are you aware of the things that you're doing at any given time, or are you doing it by automatic impulses that you've just worked into your life through years of development and through years of training? Are you actually doing what you mean to be doing? And are you awake, or are you just a robot?
Yeah.
How about Gurdjieff getting hit by a Waymo sticker? I think that was good. A magnet you put in front of your smart refrigerator.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Magnets. That's a good idea.
I think I'm making some Gurdjieff stuff. I think he'd like that.
Nice.
I'll get AI to do it. But the pot is not yet full. I have still not decided the most important question of all: in which language to write. Although I have begun to write in Russian, nevertheless, in that language, as the wisest of the wise, Mullah Nasir Eden would say, you cannot go far. The Russian language is very good. It cannot be denied. I even like it. It is quite good. But only for swapping anecdotes and for referring to someone's parentage. The Russian language is like the English, which is also very good, but only for discussing in smoking rooms, while settled in an easy chair with legs stretched out on another one. The topic of Australian frozen meat, or perhaps the Indian question.
Oh, they had the Indian question back then.
Yo. Is it the same Indian question? It's the Eastern Indian?
I'm not sure.
Because
I think it might be the Native American Indian question. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because he learned from what's up.
Yo. In the house, Headless Giant.
Headless.
Morning.
How you doing?
Morning, man.
What do you?
What's going on, dude?
Not much. Woke up, got my coffee. Now I'm ready to morning wood.
Nice.
Good morning, Wood. I like that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. We have to coin that quote too. Good morning, Wood. All right, Rat, do you want to explain kind of what we're reading here to Headless?
Gurdjieff, Tales of Beelzebub, Beelzebub's Tales to his grandson. It is right now we're in the preface, and boy, does Gurdjieff write. But essentially, he's a leader of a secret society. Or essentially, he had a school called the Fourth Way. He tried to publicize it, throughout his life. He was a turn of the 20th century philosopher. And it was all about enlightenment, form of it, right? He got in a car accident. Huh?
Through dance.
Through dance, yes. Through dance and many other practices, but dance was his favorite because dance required all three centers to properly do, which is the physical, the mental, and the emotional.
Dude,
and so
that'd be cool to look into, like the spiritual stuff behind like all this dancing. I don't know. I've
The
seen
whirling
videos
dervish?
of ancestral dancing that these people do. It's fucking cool, dude. Like it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I'm with you with the flamenco dances. The Mexican dances are all sun and moon fertility dances.
Yeah,
When
man.
you look
I
at them
mean,
from
it's
top
just-
down.
Yeah,
you get it.
there's something about it that that you just connect with, right? It's hard to explain if you haven't experienced it, but
I agree.
All right, and we're just still in the forward, essentially the chapter 1 in
We
Agurgit
just
rights.
passed by the Indian question.
I don't know if we're going to get past this chapter, guys.
No, it's about 60 pages.
Oh, y'all
The
always
introduction is 60 pages.
pick the best
Jeez.
books.
Gurdjieff can fucking write, boy.
We're gonna
Dude,
we're
he
gonna
could.
be on
He could.
chapter 1 for so many episodes.
Reading his book breaks down the body like is intended. So you have to you have to do it multiple times to refill your soul at the end, I guess.
Bingo.
It would also be said that owing to all kinds of both these languages are like the dish known as in Moscow as solyanka, into which goes anything and everything except you and me. In fact, everything you wish, even the after dinner chesma of Shahrazad. It must also be said that owing to all kinds of conditions accidentally or perhaps not accidentally formed in my youth, I have had to learn very seriously and of course always with self-compulsion to speak, read, and write a great many languages, and to such a degree of fluency that if in following this profession unexpectedly forced on me by fate, I decided to not take advantage of the optimism acquired by practice, I could perhaps write in any one of them. But in order to make judicious use of this optimism acquired by long practice, I would have to write either in Russian or in Armenian, because during the last 2 or 3 decades, the circumstances of my life have been such that I've had to use these 2 languages for communication with others, and consequently have had more practice in them. Oh, the devil, even in a case like this, one of the aspects of my peculiar psyche, unusual for a normal man, has already begun to torment the whole of me. And the torment I feel at this moment is almost too mellow age, is derived from a properly implanted in childhood in my peculiar psyche, with a lot of rubbish unnecessary for contemporary life, that automatically compels the whole of me always and in everything to act only according to popular wisdom. So was he dealing with like Rothschild's like education or something like that? Like what education did he have?
Oh yeah, maybe so. It's a type of Russian education, right? Because he grew up in the western part of Russia, or Eastern Europe, outside of Russia. So in one of those satellite countries and stuff.
Oh,
He was all over. So he was chased down by what's his name? The dictator of Russia, Uncle Joseph Stalin. He was he went to school with Stalin, and Stalin was chasing him around trying to kill him. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, he was always avoiding death and war. Like he always managed to get out right before war blew someplace up. Like World War I, the Russian Revolution, World War II, all of that.
he lived through all of it.
He lived through all of that.
He could have been known as the Eurasian Forrest Gump, but instead he's a mystic, which kind of makes sense too.
Yeah.
Are we sure this car was an accident? It wasn't Putin sending a driver after
It
him?
might not have been. He doesn't know.
In this
Wow.
present,
He even acknowledges it could have been some extraordinary force circumstance, something like that, whatever it was.
you just can't call out Putin in the book, so go after him.
Obviously he can't mark Stalin or Lenin or any of them.
Putin's at the wrong epoch. In this present case, as always, when I'm in doubt, there has just slipped uninvited into my brain, which is constructed unsuccessfully to the point of mockery. That saying of popular wisdom, which existed in very ancient times and which has come down to our day in the following words: every stick has 2 ends. In trying to understand the underlying thought and real meaning hidden in this strange formulation, any more or less sane thinking man will, in my opinion, soon come to the conclusion that all the ideas contained in this saying are based on truth, recognized by people for centuries, that every phenomenon in the life of man is due to 2 causes of opposite character, and divides into exactly opposite results, which in their turn become the cause of a new phenomenon. For example, if something obtained from 2 opposing causes produces light, then this something must also inevitably produce the opposite phenomenon, that is darkness. Or again, if a factor engenders an impulse of palpable satisfaction in the organism of a living creature, It likewise inevitably engenders a dissatisfaction, of course, also palpable, and so on and so forth, always in and in everything.
Well, think
So
about how you create polarity anytime instantly. So spin, right? Spin instantly creates polarity. You got
Yeah.
one side going one direction, one side going the other direction. And his methodology talks a lot about the whirling dervishes. You're creating a spin to simulate the universe. You're putting the whole universe inside of yourself with the spin. So he's got a point there about the branches have two ends, and they're all formed from two opposing forces. If you think about a spinning object, one side is causing air to go this way, the other side is causing air to go that way. And they all kind of combine together, but those are two opposing forces in completely opposite directions.
Yeah. Just moving in one direction requires you to, if you're moving left to right, you're leaving the left and you're approaching the right. Like there's an approach and the leaving. There's a pushing and a pulling. You're pushing air in front of you and you're pulling air behind you. There's a drag, right?
Right.
Everything has polarity. Everything is opposites. Much like Sir Isaac Newton's law, every action has a reaction.
And I think spin unites the opposites just immediately, without even working. This is why you have, the interconnected bodies over several light years or whatever with quantum entanglement. It's the spin of two objects. They're spinning at the same rate. And if you move one, it's going to change the other. So it's the idea of spin is the sort of force that connects everything.
Did he have a notion of the butterfly effect back then, or is that just like a modern idea? Because this kind of feels like a little bit of that.
He's got a lot of that.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever said butterfly effect, but a lot of it.
Well, he said I think I remember reading something like he said that everything has to happen this way because if humanity were any different, it would be different than it is now. So like he's talking, of course, about war. He's talking about the flawed nature of man. He's talking about the fallen nature of man. But he was a very fatalist. Like this is how it's supposed to happen because everything that led up to it is because of how it happened. Obviously, if something changed, then it would be different now. So it was very subjective, like very in the moment. Very what is now is because of what was, and what will be is because of what is now, type of thing.
Great.
Well, cause and effect. A lot of cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that bit there that we just passed seemed right out of the Kabbalion.
All right.
Adopting
Want me to take
here. Yeah, if you want, go for it.
All right. Adopting here this example of popular wisdom formed in the course of centuries and expressed by the image of a stick, which as was said, has indeed two ends, one end considered good and the other bad. And if I take advantage of the mentioned automatism acquired by me through long practice, it will of course be very good for me personally, but according to the saying, for the reader, it would be just the opposite. And what the opposite of good is, even every non-possessor of hemorrhoids can easily understand. In short, if I exercise my prerogative and take the good end of the stick, the bad end will inevitably fall on the reader's head. This may indeed happen, for in Russian it is impossible to express the so-to-say niceties of philosophical questions, which I intend to touch upon in my writings rather fully, whereas, although it is possible to do so in Armenian, this language, to the misfortune of all contemporary Armenians, has now become quite impractical for expressing contemporary notions. In order to assuage the...
That's a weird way of glossing over the Armenian genocide, which happened before he wrote this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
Shoot. In order to assuage the bitterness of my inner hurt owing to this, I must say that in my early youth, when I became interested in philological questions and was deeply absorbed in them, I preferred the Armenian language to all the others I then spoke, even including my native tongue. This language was my favorite at that time, chiefly because it had its own character and had nothing in common with the neighboring or kindred languages. All its tonalities, as the learned philologists say, were peculiar to it alone, and as I understood even then, it corresponded perfectly to the psyche of the people of that nation. But during the last 30 or 40 years, I have witnessed such a change in this language that although it has not completely lost the originality and independence it had possessed since the remote past, it has now become a sort of clownish potpourri of languages, whose consonances, falling on the ear of a more or less attentive and conscious listener, sound like a collection of Turkish, Persian, French, Kurdish, and Russian tones mixed with other indigestible and inarticulate noises. Almost the same might be said about my native language, Greek, which I spoke in childhood, and the taste of whose automatic associative power I still retain. I could, I dare say, express anything I wish in it even now, but it is impossible for me to employ it here for the simple and rather comical reason that someone must transcribe my writings and translate them into other languages. Who could do this? It can be said with certainty that even the best expert in modern Greek would understand simply nothing of what I would write in the tongue I assimilated in my childhood, because during the last 30 or 40 years, my dear compatriots, inflamed with the desire to be at all costs like the representatives of contemporary civilization, even their conversation, have treated my dear native language just as the Armenians, anxious to become Russian intelligentsia, have traded theirs. The Greek language, whose spirit and essences were transmitted to me by heredity, and the language now spoken by contemporary Greeks are as much alike as, according to the expression of Mullah Nasser ad-Din, a nail is like a requiem. So what is now to be done? Ah, me. Never mind, esteemed buyer of my wiseacrings. As long as there is plenty of French Armagnac and Khazarian Basturma, I shall find a way even out of this tight corner. I am an old hand at this. In life, I've so often gotten into difficult situations and out of them that this has become almost a matter of habit with me. Meanwhile, I should write partly in Russian and partly in Armenian, all the more since among those people always hanging around me, there are several who know how to get along more or less easily in both those languages. And I somehow entertain the hope that they will be able to transcribe and translate them fairly well for me. In any case, I repeat so that you may remember it well, not as you are in the habit of remembering other things, and on the basis for which you are accustomed to keeping your word of honor to others or to yourself. No matter what language I use, I shall always and in everything avoid what I have called bon ton literary language. With regard to this, it is an extremely curious fact, perhaps more worthy of your love of knowledge than you may suppose, that from my earliest childhood, that is to say, ever since the birth in me of the need to rob birds' nests and to tease my friends' sisters, there arose in me, in my planetary body, as the ancient theosophists called it, and moreover, why I don't know, chiefly in the right half, an involuntary, instinctive sensation that up to the period of my life when I became a teacher of dancing, was gradually formed into a definite feeling, and later, when thanks to this profession of mine, I came in contact with people of many different types, the conviction also began to arise in what is so called my mind that these languages, or rather their grammars, are composed by people who, with respect to knowledge of language, are exactly like those biped animals whom the esteemed Mullah Nasser ad-Din characterizes thus. All they can do is wrangle with pigs about the quality of oranges. People of this kind who, due to rotten heredity and nauseating upbringing, on reaching a certain age have been turned into voracious moths, destroying the good prepared and left for us by our ancestors and by time, have not the slightest notion and have never even heard of the blatantly obvious fact that during the preparatory age there is acquired in the brain functioning of every creature, and thus of man also, a definite property whose automatic manifestations proceed according to a certain law that the ancient Corcolans called the law of associations. And that the process of mentation of every creature, especially man, flows exclusively in accordance with this law. Since I have happened to touch upon a question that has recently become almost an obsession of mine, namely the process of human mentation, I consider it possible, without waiting for the place of in my writings I designated for elucidation of this question, to speak at least a little in this first chapter about some information that accidentally became known to me. According to this information, it was customary in long past centuries on Earth for every man bold enough to aspire to the right to be considered by others and to consider himself a conscious thinker to be instructed, while still in the early years of his responsible existence. That man has two kinds of mentation. One kind, mentation by thought, expressed by words always possessing a relative meaning, and another kind, proper to all animals as well as man, which I would call mentation by form. Second kind of mentation, that is mentation by form, through which, by the way, the exact meaning of all writing should be perceived and then assimilated after conscious confrontation with information previously acquired, is determined in people by the conditions of geographical locality, climate, time, and in the general, the whole environment in which they have arisen and in which their existence has flowed up to adulthood. Thus, in the brains of people of different races living in different geographical localities under different conditions, there arise in regard to one and the same thing or idea quite different independent forms, which during the flow of associations evoke in their being a definite sensation giving rise to definite picturing, and thus picturing is expressed by some word or other that serves only for its outer subjective expression. That is why each word for the same thing or idea almost always acquires for people of different geographical localities and races a quite specific and entirely different, so to say, inner content. In other words, if in the presence of a man who has risen up and grown up in a given locality in certain form has been fixed to a result of a specific local influence and impressions, this form evokes in him by association the sensations of a definite inner content. Consequently, a defining picturing of or concept for the expression of which he uses some word that has become habitual and, as I said, subjective to him, but hearer of that word, and whose being owing to the different conditions of arising of growth, a form with a different inner content has been fixed for the given word, will always perceive and infallibly understand that word in quite another sense. This fact, by the way, can be clearly established by attentive and impartial observation during an exchange of opinions between persons belonging to different races or who arose and were formed in different geographical localities. So, words mean different things to different people, not just in definition, but in the core meaning of the words, right? Everything you understand is influenced by your nativity, by your environment. Simply put, right?
Yeah, I get into a lot of miscommunications with the old lady with the specific words. I have a certain understanding of it, and she has another one, and I have to convince her of it half the time. It's truly ridiculous, especially when it's like something I'm really familiar with and she's super familiar with, but we just two opposite ends, so we're both right either way, I think. And I'm just like, please, no, understand me anyway.
Good luck.
Yeah, no, it's tell me about it. Tell me about it. So was Gurdjieff married? No, right? Do you have a long-term relationships?
Could have been hard to drag a wife around everywhere with you. How he was, how he was kind of living, especially the life of like the traveling mystic. Well, I don't know because
he was married.
He was.
Oh, there you go.
Well, to a lady named Julia Ostrowska, a Polish woman.
Oh,
rich, right? She was a rich widow. These occultists love to latch on to rich widows and just suck them dry.
Just paying his medical bills.
Isn't that what Crowley did? Yeah.
Crowley did that several times. Manly P. Hall, he got financed 100% through his wife.
Yeah. His first wife killed herself.
What?
Yeah, we don't talk about that, but we should.
Take the insurance money?
I think we should talk about that. I think
what pamphlet is that? How to collect billions off the misfortunes of
treaties is that? Yeah, I don't know. The ways of the hashish assassins.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't down here in California. I'm sure he had a good lawyer.
That's where Jordan Maxwell met him, right?
He's influenced so much in Silicon Valley. Like there are these cults, Gurdjieff cults, that infiltrated Google, and so they just were suppliers of like wine, but they got their employees and their cult members into some of the highest places in Google, and they were actually erasing search results about their own cult. So if you guys think that none of these institutions are penetratable, you're just not trying hard, guys. If you want them to turn against somebody, you could do that. It's much easier to get somebody to hate somebody else than it is to get people to like you. So just remember that.
That's true.
Absolutely. I was gonna say we're getting close to the end of the first half of the show, guys, which we will be cutting the Twitter stream. May leave the YouTube open for a few more minutes before we cut it just to the Patreon link. So we're gonna finish up here in the next the next 10 minutes. Y'all want to keep
Not much
reading
information
or
on
y'all want to finish
Julia
up right here and
Ostrowska.
kind of talk about it?
Sorry, was that Jules? Sorry.
I didn't know if you wanted to keep reading for a minute or if you wanted to kind of discuss it a little further. Just what I don't know, whatever y'all want to do.
Right now, he's still giving his introduction, which is quite an introduction.
Yeah, unfortunately,
keeps going.
we won't be able to finish the whole introduction today. But
Well, I think Gurdjieff, what his methodology is he starts talking in a lot of generalities and then starts to get really confusing with how those generalities get interpreted, right? And so it's in that confusion that he creates a sort of dissonant state within the viewer or participant. And that dissonant state is then carried out and sort of uniting of the opposites through dance.
Yeah.
And so his entire writing style and everything else can really be taken down to that idea is you've got to create this sort of dissonance and then dance it out.
I gotta
You got to do it over and over and over
on
again.
the whole dancing thing, dude.
I'm
That's
kind of
cool.
feeling that where I'm getting real confused, and then he leaves that like a little nugget at the end for me to latch onto. I'm like, I don't know what any of this means, and then at the end, right there,
You have to finish the dance, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very, very difficult. I mean, I read like reviews of this book, and they're all like, "It's extremely difficult to read. This is extremely difficult. I don't get it. This is extremely difficult," type of thing. And yeah, they were right. It is extremely difficult. We're only in the intro, and it's already.
I think we may have lost quite a few people during this.
I mean, I can only imagine what we get into in the actual
painfully faced bad car drivers. Let him go.
Like no one wants.
What do they call them? Useless.
The bipedal.
Bipedal retards.
Bipedal retards. Yeah. The bipedal creatures. It's very, very close to calling us like cattle, right?
It's almost like the biological solar powered AI. It's almost like that.
Oh yeah, let me pull up a picture of.
There we go.
That's the guy right there. I think there's a psycho hiding behind those eyes. It looks blank and sort of dead.
Pretty cool mustache, though.
Oh, yeah.
In my older years, I think I may try to do something like that. Not right now. I still have a very handsome face, youthful. But so I've been told. But maybe in the future we'll do something with.
To be fair, I think that's a passport picture of him, which you never look the best on your passport.
Very true, but at the same time,
with the bald head,
you can just imagine the fez, right? He's got the fez, and he looks Turkic and Eurasian as fuck. Like he was the Eurasian example of Turkish kind of.
Isn't that how the Rus kind of used to look too, though?
Bingo. Well, I mean, it's all the Black Sea region, right? The Black Sea region.
Right.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, I've been kind of getting into that. Doing a little bit of deep dives into those pantheons, man. That stuff is it's crazy how like all these European nations, they each had their own,
tribal identity,
venerations. Yeah, man, of these same archetypes. It's fascinating. The more you look into it, the more there's so many different ones, dude. Tyranny, you are late. Nancy, good morning.
Great morning, Nancy.
Rumble. Y'all are just in time. We are about to cut over to the Rumble only here in about 5 minutes or so.
Go get spicy.
So again, Twitter, sorry for earlier, all the difficulties at the beginning of the stream. We had to add it back in. My StreamYard didn't want that. Like I said, I didn't update my new debit card on StreamYard, so it is only letting me stream to 3 destinations. We had to kick the public Rumble stream off as well. I don't know, so maybe we should have kept that because there's about 30 people watching on Twitter, so I guess that may have been more than we would have gotten on the Rumble channel. But you never know. You never know. Maybe next week we will do it. I'll fix that problem with the destinations, with the number of destinations. Did you get debanked, Chip? God damn it! I don't know, Chip. Chip's been trying to sell me insurance for the last 15 minutes in the chat over here. You may.
Where were you when Gurdjieff needed you? Gurdjieff got hit by a car. What kind of coverage what can you do for him?
Well, here, let me pull this up. I don't know. Did y'all finish like the section that you were reading, or did we just like stop in the middle?
We left on a good point.
Okay.
We probably will never be finished with anything Gurdjieff has to write because he's
not debit card, but it links to my account. You know what I mean, Def. Like a good neighbor.
Gurdjieff is there.
That's good. He should have gotten the policy before he got hit by the car, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, last night's stream, we were talking to this guy named Ashish who was telling us all about this form of AI recognition that uses LiDAR versus computer visualization, right? And like the entire thing is being driven by the idea that if you get too close to another car, like that's a bad thing. But they don't take into account that everything on the road is getting too close to other cars, right? So we're basically going into the stupid age because of insurance.
Wow. You're right. Well, and that also goes to people relying on another entity to take care of them, right? We have to kind of do that to live day to day in this society now.
Right. And it becomes very hard to reason with another person when they are solely dependent on an entity or an institution for their guidance. It becomes very difficult to communicate because there's no common point of reference if they're solely invested in that institution.
You're right. All right. Hey, Tyranny, I was going to say, dude, I think when I changed one of the tiers on the Patreon, it kicked you. So I think you resubscribed. I don't know though. You may want to check. Obviously you're here on the Rumble, so I think you may have. But I don't know what happened to your other. I just don't want you to be paying for two tiers at once. So you may want to check on that. All right, guys, we're gonna y'all. Did y'all want to say anything else about this?
There are people who write about Gurdjieff better than Gurdjieff writes himself. So if you look up the people who write about Gurdjieff, who knew Gurdjieff, those are the people you should look for. If you
may be able to understand Gurdjieff a little better. Okay, yeah.
I know Osepsky, or I forget his name. Peter Osepsky or something wrote The Life of Gurdjieff or Gurdjieff, something like that. And it was pretty fascinating so far to read. Just like dipping into chapter 2 at the very start. Wild. And it was in the year 223 after the creation of the world by objective time calculation, or as would be said here on Earth, in the year 1921 after the birth of Christ.
What the hell? That's wild, dude. Well, like I said, maybe the wheel will land on it. We're gonna keep it on the list. We'll keep it on the list.
Yeah. Maybe next time we get into Gurdjieff, we'll skip directly to chapter 2, where we get into chapter 2 prologue: why Beelzebub was in our solar system.
Damn it! I wish you would have told me that's what that was, dude. Maybe we should have just started with that. That would have
There's
maybe
a
would have.
preface into who Gurdjieff is and what
Right,
his
right,
intents are.
It's important,
And I think that's
I know.
it is important, but yeah.
All right. Well, Twitter. I'm going live. I think I'm going on Broadcasting Seeds at 2:00 Eastern time today. Reschedule finally. And then D2As later, guys. Y'all doing D2A later?
Yeah.
Subliminal, you're muted, buddy.
Oh yeah. D2A later. Eamon Red and I have a episode like probably 3 Central, maybe 1 Pacific ish, more or less.
But probably a little late. We're Mexican. We can't help
A
it.
little later. Okay.
Oh no, we're the plan is 1 Pacific, 3
Okay.
Central.
All right. And
Probably gonna be like a little late.
a
Just
mixed bag today, I think. We're gonna hit
We're
Gurdjieff
gonna do a
again.
bunch of
Like
stuff, yeah.
we didn't bonk him enough. The apple still needs a little bonking.
The golden apple.
Smack Gurdjieff. I recently did an interview about Marcion, so I'm gonna we might
On
go
No Way
over that a little
Jose,
bit.
right?
Oh
Yeah, no way, Jose. Yeah,
Shout
haven't
out
told
Jose
anybody.
Galison. And that's awesome, Rat. That's actually a pretty big show to go on. So you're killing it, dude. You guys are going on NDS and No Way Jose, and soon it'll be Tinfoil Hat
And Gray Pilled.
The Occult
And Gray
Rejects.
Pilled.
in Gray Pilled. There we
And
go.
Gray
Pilled.
Pilled. Well,
And
obviously,
Gray
y'all
Pilled.
just need to book your episode. Go to Calendly. I told Connie, because he's like, hey, do you want to do a stream tonight? And I was like, well, Austin booked with me. I was like, if you want to do a stream on a Friday night, let's book it and let's plan it, because I don't really do the random streams anymore, guys. We kind of talked about this. Don't have the time. So,
All right. I'll book
Headless,
you.
you got anything this weekend, buddy? You're muted.
I'm just doing what anybody else is doing. If people ask me to come on, I'm there. So
Yes, you're always there. Usually, we may do a Rustic Gods this weekend, guys. Maybe tomorrow night. So y'all stay tuned for that. Like I said, I will be going live on Broadcasting Seeds later. Maybe going live. I don't know. I'll post the link to his channel if we do. So besides that, Metamystics this next week. I think maybe next Friday. I don't know, and probably be some Occult Reject shows that I'll be on this next week, guys. So Twitter, we will see y'all later. All right, YouTube, you're on your way out. Subby, I'm sorry, I should have shared. Fuck.
Oh, next time. Just
Just
wanted to. No, it's. I mean, if they're still around, it's cool though. They'll catch it on the replay. Just wanted to give the audience update on the shop.
Hell
We got
yeah.
some new.
Yeah, we got some new stickers, some new bookmarks,
Some new holographic stickers, and these are magnets that go. These would go on your fridge. So if let's say you wanted to send some money Jules' way, you have it right there available to you on your fridge. And these won't burn up in the sun. They'll be hopefully in your house somewhere. And
nice.
And these are little hollow stuff. And then also the Wolf Bitches of Thessaly. I've also updated the stuff for Jules. So Jules going to have a little catalog. I made something for Headless, and I'm kind of taking a wild guess for stuff that Nick would like, but I'm kind of coming up with some the designs for Nick as well. If I can, kind of flash these real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I took a wild guess for Headless here. Hold on.
I need a haircut. Oh, I need a fucking haircut.
There's a Wolf Bitches. All right, let's scroll. Gods of the Morning Wood. Right, this is going to be your Gods of the Morning Wood bookmarks. Jules requested
There's
these.
Pyramides,
These are from his Discord. He's going to
I'm sorry.
He's going to explain these to us. No,
well,
go for it. This is your expertise right here.
That's Palamedes, or he was King Arthur's pagan knight. That it was like his one of his guards. The picture is esoteric in itself. It's the white, the light and the dark, the white horse and the black horse, and then Headless quote tweeted it with the Thracian rider, and you say no more, right? You see this motif kind of rebranded in these different cultures over time.
That Thracian rider is such a potent cult symbol that people don't give enough credit for as a religious symbol. Everybody just assumes that it's a military symbol. but it's a very highly religious symbol, and it's spread all the way across Europe, all the way. I mean, this is what we think of as Michael, right? So the Thracian rider is really at the core of a lot of symbolism all throughout Europe, especially anytime you see that horse rearing up with the guy with the lance, Thracian rider.
Okay.
Right. And then this next one is the gods coming down from the Bifrost or the
like the rainbow
the
road,
rainbow that
rainbow
connects
bridge.
Asgard to Midgard, or that Heimdall guards. I think Gnostic Informant posted this picture, and I just found it captivating, beautiful. The imagery, and so I saved the picture. I don't know what book it's from. Maybe I should find that book.
Okay,
but we used the picture for a bookmark. I think people would be happy. And y'all can get the bookmark.
and then something for
headless
headless
giant. We got a gold giant, and it's headless.
I got two versions. I'll make some adjustments, but this is just a mock-up of what I thought. What came to mind. I thought you might like a couple of these. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll work on the fonts and all that stuff. But this is what I was thinking of, and then maybe for
I think we
a
may
golden
make
ass.
50 cents on them headless. So we'll try to break you off.
And
maybe. I don't know if we
Golden
make
ass.
golden
There we
ass.
go.
golden ass. There we go.
There's room for eggplant or whatever, or something else down here if you really want to get pricey with it.
We could
There's still
probably
room
put some
down here.
quotes. We could probably put some
Okay.
quotes about, like the witches and stuff, as they pissed on the guy. You could probably put that in there. That would
Okay.
be hilarious.
All right, we can make different versions
Yeah.
and change the coloring, maybe the picture of the ass. All right, we can do that. And then this will be
Really?
for Nick, maybe for Jules. I don't know who's more
Oh,
interested in
that's-
helping to fill this out here.
That's awesome.
I thought that would be. I'm
love
just
these designs. So thank you, man.
well, thank you guys for letting me work on this for you. These will be up in your shop soon. So,
All right.
Go over, head over to Great Pill Shop. I'll have some design exclusive for me. Jules will have stuff for him, and I'll try to work with everybody to get something for everybody going.
Hell yeah.
So
That's
that's kind of all I have going right now.
well, we're not done yet. We're about to get into the Orlinda, guys. So if you go to Google, it'll tell you the Orlinda book is a controversial manuscript, allegedly from the 13th century, that claims to be a history of the ancient Frisian people, covering creation myths, laws, and history from 2194 BCE to 803 CE. While some believe it offers valuable insights, most academics consider it a forgery, possibly created as a practical joke. Fuck off. Anything that comes from European, ancestry, they label to be this fantastical fairy tale and all this. It's very, I don't know. They definitely demonize stuff like this. So that's why we're going to get into it. Basically the Aryan creation myth. And it's a fantastic book. I've read into it a little bit, so you guys are going to be learning about this stuff just as much as me. Headless, what can you tell us about the Frisians? And this is not to be confused with the Phrygians, right?
Why isn't it to be confused with the Phrygians?
Well, is it? Okay. Hey. Correct me if I'm wrong, man.
Well, the Egyptians were in sort of like a competition with the Phrygians or the Thracians to see who was the oldest civilization. And they thought the best way to do that would be to take these children at birth and then keep them separated from the rest of the population. And the first words out of their mouth would be a Thracian word or an Egyptian word based upon who was older. This was the theory. And so what they tried to do is they tried to see if that was the case. And what they found was, yeah, actually the Thracian words, the Phrygian words were much older, more baby-like, I guess. Well, this was the methodology. So, do with it what you will, but I think it's words like kubaba, right? Kaibani.
Right.
These are ancient words that sound like the babblings of children towards their mothers, right? And that's kind of what kubaba is. If you go back thousands and thousands of years. You look at this, the ancient form of the goddess, what's her name? The Venus of Willendorf, right? 40,000-year-old little figurine that also is the progenitor of Kybali worship, right? There's a direct line between all those tiny little figurines and actually what was happening in Thrace. So the Phrygians and the Phrygians may have more in common with each other than previously thought. I mean, come on, the Phrygians and the Phrygians. Now, these are words that sound alike, but are spelled completely differently.
Yeah.
But if you look in Greece, you've got the Gauls in Greece, right?
Mhm.
Galatians. They're writing the letter to the Galatians. Those are people from Gaul. That's a tribe of people that are now in France. They're called the French. And so there was also several other places in Anatolia that directly relate to tribes all the way over in England and Scotland. So what's happening there? Well, there's huge migrations going on throughout Europe, and these tribes are rotating around. In the Saxons were the first people to sack Rome. They were the first people to sack Rome. And after they got done sacking Rome, they just settled in the area. So these Saxon people are still in that general region, even though they went back up, some of them went back up to Northern Europe. So a lot of the stuff that happens in the Oera book should be thought of as tracing itself think about where the Vikings traded their goods.
Right.
They went down to Iran, of all places.
Yeah.
Right? They weren't talking to other, Proto-Indo-Europeans. Actually, they were, because the Iranians, their word for royalty is Aryan. That's why it's based off of Arius,
right.
As well as the Ireland, which also is the translate. Again, sounds alike, spelled differently. Ireland also comes from Aryan. So all of these groups have thousands and thousands and thousands of years of linkage through family ties and all the rest of this stuff.
And you have the people writing history saying that it all comes from this one place in the desert.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So this is sort of their perspective on thousands of years of what was going on in the Middle East. And it doesn't get enough credit as such, but every time they try and call it a hoax or whatever, they keep having to say probable hoax, because there are way more pieces of information that keep coming out that sort of confirm that the Oera does have roots in ancient history.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. And we're going to keep the YouTube. I think all the people watching on the YouTube are all Patreon people. So Benjamin, Young Stitches, Tyranny's here, Nancy's here, JC. Hopefully some more of you guys come and hang out.
Privated afterwards for the Patreon members.
Yeah. We'll definitely make it private afterwards. But we'll keep the YouTube up for now.
The one thing that I could say that unites them together is the Phrygian cap. Because both the Phrygians, up in Northern Europe, and the Phrygians both wore the Phrygian cap, for fuck's sake.
Right.
And what was the cap a symbol for? Fierce independence and liberty. Reading through this book, that's the impression you get over and over and over again. They wanted fierce independence and liberty, that spirit of the Phrygian cap, which is what the Greeks were talking about 5,000 years ago. So you're telling me there's not a linkage, and yet there's all this really strong circumstantial evidence pointing to a cultural linkage between here and Anatolia. And this was all written in ancient Phrygian as well. So, and it was a completely different language using a completely different alphabet.
Oh yeah, dude, it's fascinating. And there's the Phrygian, I guess the translation, is on here. And so I'm going to. Is it better if I share it? Not as a PDF on the StreamYard sub, and just share it from my computer?
I have no idea.
So I can control the size of the.
Yeah, if you can do it on a PDF so you can zoom in and out, that would be great.
Okay, yeah,
that's how I usually do. Yeah, so
the StreamYard thing, yeah, it doesn't let you zoom in or anything. So let's share it. We'll just share the. There we go. I'll share the window. Can y'all see it?
Yes, sir.
All right. I will start reading Adela. So let's see. So this is like I said, this is from the Over de Linda family, written by Lico. Okay, my son, you must preserve these books with body and soul. They contain the history of all our people, as well as of our forefathers. Last year, I saved them in the flood, as well as you and your mother. But they got wet and therefore began to perish. In order not to lose them, I copied them on foreign paper. In case you inherit them, you must copy them likewise, and your children must do so too, so that they may never be lost. Written at Lewart in the 3,449th year after Atland was submerged. Okay, let's stop there. Atland, this is Atlantis, right? Headless?
That is what they say, yes.
Yeah. So in the year 3,400, and so this is 3,000 years after Atlantis. That is, according to the Christian reckoning, the year 1,256. Hedo, surnamed Over de Linda, watch. Beloved successors, for the sake of our dear forefathers and of our dear liberty, I entreat you 1,000 times, never let the eye of a monk look on these writings. Oh shit. They are very insinuating, but they destroy in an underhand manner all that relates to us Frisians. In order to gain rich benefices, they conspire with foreign kings who know that we are their greatest enemies, because we dare to speak to their people of liberty, rights, and the duties of princes. Therefore, they
what is
seek,
that?
dude. Yeah,
It sounds very American. Oh, well, we got to talk about who this Oeralinda family is, right? So
yeah.
Oeralinda means in Frisian over the hill.
Mm-hmm.
So over there, over yonder, also it could refer to the what are they called? The Hyperboreans. So Hyperborean mountains means on the other side of the mountain. So the Hyperboreans were very prominent in Greece, as well as, hey, we're the Hyperboreans up here in Phrygia, right? We're on the other side of the Boreas Mountains, over the hill.
Therefore, they seek to destroy all that we derive from our forefathers and all that is left of our old customs. Ah, my beloved ones, I have visited their courts. If Ra'alda permits it, and Ra'alda is the creator of all that they refer to. Yeah,
it's more pronounced Woralda.
Woralda. Okay,
this is where we get our word world from.
It's interesting, dude. I'm pretty sure the king of the sylphs is named like Peralda or something. So that's fascinating. I don't know if y'all remember that from Unseen Forces. If y'all want to maybe rat or sub, if y'all want to double check me on that.
Yeah. All right.
Peralda, king of the sylphs, or the yeah, or maybe, yeah, it was definitely the sylphs, or the undines, maybe. I don't know. It had to do with the elementals, but it was the king.
You got it right. I can check. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm
I mean, hey, we're on Esoteric Book Review. Let me take a look. It is
this says Peralta is a legendary king and ruler.
Yeah,
of
the leader of
Peralta.
the sylphs, who is said to dwell on the highest mountain of earth. So
Sweet.
that's very interesting. So let's see.
Introduced by alchemist Paracelsus, who links specific rulers to the four elements.
If
Peralta for air and the sylphs. Yeah.
If Woralda permits it, and I may butcher some of these names again, guys, I'm going to try my best, and we do not shew ourselves strong to resist, they will altogether exterminate us. Lico, surnamed Over de Linda. So yeah, over the hill. Okay. Written at Lusbert, Anno Domini 803. And that, so the years that they're talking about is 2,193 years before Christ. Here we go, guys. So The Book of Adela's Followers. 30 years after the day on which the Volksmotor was murdered by the commander Magi, here we go, Magi, was a time of great distress. All the states that lie on the other side of the Weser had been wrested from us and had fallen under the power of Magi, and it looked as if his power was to become supreme over the whole land. To avert this misfortune, a general assembly of the people was summoned, which was attended by all the men who stood in good repute with the Magden. The Magden, or is that made? How do you say that, Headless? Magden?
You could say Mogden.
Magden priestesses. Then at the end of 3 days, 3 days, there's another 3 days, the whole
Like
council was in
Magdalene
confusion.
priestess.
Hmm?
If it's like Magdalene or something like that. Magden.
Yeah. Good ear subliminal.
Mary Magdalene.
Thereupon Adela demanded to be heard and said, "You all know that I was 3 years Bergmagd. So there's that word Magd or Magden. So 3 years, is that you all know that I was spent 3 years as a priestess, maybe. You know also that I was chosen for Volksmotor, and that I refused to be Volksmotor because I wish to marry Apol." What is Volksmotor? Someone want to look that up for me?
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you.
People's movement.
I was going to say people because Volks, right? But what you do not know is that I have watched everything that has happened as if I had really been your Volksmotor. I guess that's like the king of the people or like the overseer of the people, maybe.
This says mother of the nation.
Mother of the nation. Oh, so
Dutch
like the
African.
okay, Volksmotor. Motor means mother, I think.
Yeah, the priestess class in here is in charge when they're not at war.
Absolutely.
And the priesthood is the men as they're going.
The warriors, right?
Right.
Yeah. And the priest. So
this is saying Dutch Afrikaner nation, something like that.
Well, the Dutch are
Afrikaner culture
right on the border of Friesland. So it's like the Dutch are right here and Frisia is right here. It's this little tiny little dot right up at the beginning. So yeah, if they took that down to Africa when they created, Zimbabwe, then yeah,
and
they took that with them.
They took that.
And the Anglo-Boer War kind of expanded this idea, something like that. Anglo-Boer War.
Yeah. Yep. All over the world. Magi are coming again. Who do you think's running us now? It's the same group. Like they're talking about what we're going through.
Yeah, that's why they refer to them specifically as Magi.
Right.
By that means, I have become acquainted with many things that others do not know. You said yesterday that our relatives on the other side of the Weser were dull and cowardly, but I may tell you that the Magi has not won a single village from them by force of arms, but only by detestable deceit, and still more by the rapacity of their dukes and nobles. So they would infiltrate the hierarchies, right? And kind of subvert from the. This is how when we read the other book, Headless, they talked about the Phoenician priest going around teaching child sacrifice. This is kind of getting in the ears of the priest and the nobles and changing up these certain ancient practices. Here we go. Freya has said, "We must not admit amongst us any but free people. But what have they done? They have imitated our enemies, and instead of killing their prisoners or letting them go free, they have despised the counsel of Freya and have made slaves of them. Because they have acted thus, Freya cared no longer to watch over them. They robbed others of their freedom and therefore lost their own." So in getting out of out of sync with the certain teachings of this one culture, you kind of lose your identity, right? You
Well,
start.
What they're saying is if you don't remain separate from the rest of the people, then you can't have freedom, right? So their idea of freedom is hinged upon their separation from other cultures and their ability to practice their own thing. So this is, even the original word for freedom comes from liberty, right? Liberty, libertas, actually translates in the Proto-Indo-European as being a member of a group, right? So liberty is racist, essentially. So the only way you have freedom is if you are a member in good standing with another group, a tribe.
See,
This makes I feel like this makes sense to protect your culture this way.
Mhm.
We're free to express ourselves. They're enslaved to their belief system, but something like that, like yeah, they should have stuck to their guns. Who built the boats for Linda to enslave those people? I'm gonna have to dip out here.
Oh yeah,
but I'll be back to help you set up your stuff right after. I'll be watching the stream. I just got to go help.
Yeah. I know you have to go. It's
sorry to cut off the show here like
it's
this.
9:00 your time. You said you had to get out.
Yeah.
I'll be around. I'll be back to help after you finish up. But see you guys.
All right, brother.
See you guys later.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you guys.
All right. So I'm gonna get back to this. Okay, so it says that Maggie, king of the Magyars or Finns. So apparently this was a king who was attacking them.
Okay, so in their conception of the world, the Findus folk are the people who have been taken over by the Magi in their own lands, and the Findus folk were the kingdom that originally held like most of the world in its grasp, and it just basically fell apart and became useless. So that's what you're looking at. The Findus folk are the ones being influenced by the Magi, and they were the ones who were like the original empire, which a lot of people have related back to the Bach Saga. I don't know if you guys have read that one yet, but the Bach Saga talks about.
But we've talked about it, and I think we're probably going to have to do some sort of a deep dive on the Bach Saga at some point.
Right, but the Findus folk would be like the central characters in the Bach Saga.
Okay,
this is essentially like the whole idea where the ruling powers are being puppeteered by certain
the Magi,
types of people.
Right. Bingo.
All right, so I'm going to keep reading. This is well known to you, but I will tell you how they came to sink so low. The Finn women had children. These grew up with our free children. They played and gambled together in the fields, and were also together by the hearth. There they learned with pleasure the loose ways of the Finns, because they were bad and new, and thus they became denationalized in spite of the efforts of their parents. When the children grew up and saw that, dude, this is this like what's happening right now in our country? When the children grew up and saw that the children of the Finns handled no weapons and scarcely worked, they took a distaste for work and became proud. Shit.
We can see that happening right now in Minnesota.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
The principal men and their cleverest sons made up to the wanton daughters of the Finns, and their own daughters, led astray by this bad example, allowed themselves to be beguiled by the handsome young Finns in derision of their depraved fathers. When the Magi found this out, I guess we'll just say Magi, fuck it. He took the handsomest of the Finns, the handsomest of the faggots and Magyars, and promised them red cows with golden horns.
Oh, what? The red heifer?
Get the fuck out of here.
What the
Stop,
fuck?
dude. Stop. Hold up. Hold up.
This is why I love the Orlinda book.
Shit. Bro. Red heifer?
Right. Dude, this is why I love this book, dude. It's so full of this stuff.
You know who
You
they're
got to know
talking
a couple
about.
of things, and then you're like,
Without them
holy
even saying
shit. Right.
Like we know who they're talking about, guys.
Do you know
I mean,
why
if
they
you
call
know,
this
you know.
Himmler's
You
Bible?
don't, you know.
They
What's up?
called this Himmler's Bible. The Oera Linda book was called the Himmler's Bible because he was such a proponent of it coming up. But then they're like, no, it's actually fake. And then he sort of dropped it. But this was the book that specifically got him on to National Socialism because he's like, this has been happening to us forever. This came out in the 1850s, but it was dated from the 1830s. And that dating from the 1830s proves that there was something else going on before it. So what they're saying is that this group of people, this Oera Linda people, have been hunted by the Magi for years. And it's all the right symbols for who we think of as the people who are trying to import millions of people into Europe right now.
And America. Yeah. To let themselves be taken prisoners by our people in order to spread his doctrines. What?
Oh, yeah. It gets better.
And you'll have people be like, dude, the Jews would never sacrifice their own, or like, it's like, dude, what do you think Holocaust means? It means burnt offering. What is an offering?
Right.
Something offered to a deity.
The sacrifice.
Right. It's and I mean, we see with the red heifer and stuff, you had Adam King talking about how this is going to cure,
with his baggie,
Alzheimer's. This is a dime bag. And dude, it made
I
think that was the last straw for my wife. She was like, holy shit, you're right. And he's basically like, yeah, but this is only, but this will never be given. Like this is basically, he was saying like, this is for us, like this isn't for the Gentiles. And so to go on Tim Pool and just do that. So just
the Gentiles that raised the cows. Again, you got to see the similarities between the Oera Linda. Who raised the cows for them to sacrifice? It was guys in Texas, right? These are Texan red heifers.
Holy shit.
Them our products.
Listen, his people did even more. Children disappeared, were taken away to the uplands, and after that had been brought up in his pernicious doctrines, were sent back. Get the fuck out of here, dude. You were kidnapping kids and indoctrinating them?
And then sending them back in.
Sending them back as like a monk or something?
Right. Monks and priests.
And they would come back to their families and oh my God.
Indoctrinate with more. Yeah.
Wow.
When these pretended prisoners had learned our language, they persuaded the dukes and nobles that they should become subject to the Magi, that then their sons would succeed to them without having to be elected. Those who by their good deeds had gained a piece of land in front of their house, they promised on their side should receive in addition a piece behind. Those who had got a piece before and behind should have a rondile, complete circuit, and those who had a rondile should have a whole freehold. This is talking about lands and titles, or if the seniors were true to Freya, then they changed their course and turned to the degenerate sons. Yesterday, there were among you those who would have called the whole people together.
Skip a page. Although, guys,
sorry.
If you look into the original words, it's all based off of the wagon wheel. We'll probably get into that a little bit later. But all of the words are based off of wagon wheel letters.
To compel the eastern states to return to their duty. According to my humble opinion, they would have made a great mistake. Suppose that there was a very serious epidemic among the cattle. Would you run the risk of sending your own healthy cattle among the sick ones? Certainly not. Everyone must see that doing that would turn out very badly for the whole of the cattle. Who then would be so imprudent as to send their children among a people wholly depraved? If I were to give you any advice, it would be to choose a new Volksmutter. I know that you are in a difficulty about it because out of the 13 Bertmagden that we still have remaining, 8 are candidates for the dignity. But I should pay no attention to that.
Now, in that paragraph, we see both eugenics and the idea of woman leaders, right? So in very real terms, women leaders were in charge of the eugenics and the genetic purity of the people in the tribe, these Bergsmagda, right? So they did have the concept there. So when they're talking about cattle, they're talking about genetics, you know?
Yeah.
And so they're making those choices, right?
Z-Man, good to see you, brother. Good morning.
Hey, Z-Man.
Taken to the Commonwealth of Bells for punishment. Yeah.
You want me to go for it?
Yeah. Go ahead, Headless.
Tuntia, the Bergmagden of Madelsblick, who is not a candidate, is a person of knowledge and sound sense, and quite as attached to our people and our customs as all the rest together. I should further recommend to you that you should visit all the citadels and write down all the laws of Freya's text, as well as all the histories and all that is written on the walls, in order that it may not be destroyed with the citadels. So, right, Freya is their goddess, and Oralda is their god, right? So Freya is the goddess of wisdom. Freya's text is going to be on the walls of their citadels, just like the in Greek they have the 147 Delphic maxims written on the walls of their citadels. It stands written that every Volksmotor and every Bergmagden should have assistants and messengers, 21 maidens and 27 apprentices. If I might add more, I would recommend that all of the respectable girls in the towns should be taught, for I say positively, and time will show it, that if you wish to remain true children of Freya, never be vanquished by fraud or arms, you must take care to bring up your daughters as true Freya's daughters. Right? They've got a priestess class that is at the central role of governing their society, and they have to keep them pure away from the influence of the Magda.
Look what the influence of the Magda has done, or the Magi has done to our daughters today.
Bingo.
I mean,
Bingo.
it's turned them into degenerate. Right. I mean,
they're trying to turn them into degenerate men. Right? That's what they're trying to turn women into.
Yeah. You're right.
You must teach the children how great our country has been, what great men our forefathers were, and how great we still are if we compare ourselves to others. I fucking love this book. You must tell them of the sea heroes, their mighty deeds and distant voyages. All these stories must be told by the fireside and in the field, wherever it may be, in times of joy or sorrow. If you wish to impress it upon the brains and hearts of your sons, you must let it flow through the lips of your wives and your daughters. Adela's advice was followed.
Dude, I love that. So it's like saying it should come from your people, right?
It's the only way you can be free. The only way you can be free. When somebody else can tell you stories about your own past, you can't be free. That's what they're saying in that very simple paragraph.
Wow.
These are the Gravet men, under whose direction this book is composed. Apol, Adela's husband, 3 times a sea king. Gravetmen of Osfly and Lindorian, the towns Lugarda, Linchem, and Sativa are under his care. Stavia. The Saxman Storo, Satia's husband, Gravetman over Hoofingen and Wooden. Oh,
dude, these are like warlords.
Right.
Yeah.
These are warlords who travel the oceans.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
9 times he was chosen as Duke or Heerman commander. The towns Buddha and Managarda Forda are under his care. You can almost hear the accents.
Look at the names of those towns. Buddha, almost, and Managarda Forda. You don't see names like that anymore.
You got a lot of philologies that are packed in there. So Buddha again came from the upper class Aryan caste in the Brahmin caste, right? And the Brahmin
ancient.
caste came through the Aryan line. So in Lithuania right now, if you're speaking Lithuanian, you can understand about 400 or 500 words from Sanskrit because their languages are so similar because 5,000 years ago they split, right? So when you see philology like that, it's good to pay attention to it because Proto-Indo-European peoples went everywhere, like all over the world. So Abello, Jaltia's husband, Gravitman over the Zunderfly London. He was 3 times Heerman. I do kind of like that they're keeping so much of it in context, but at the same time, I'm completely lost.
Right. Well, okay. So these Grevitt men are the husbands of the priestesses.
Right. I'm just saying, like, normally in a text like this, they would have like little subtext, something that
they have some at the bottom of some pages, but it's not enough.
Right.
It's definitely not enough.
It's got to point you to these actual locations because I think that's very important for trying.
I would love to have a map, or maybe if we could reach out on Twitter or something. If you know anyone who,
and these are old names for
Freya.
towns too.
I know there's people that still follow Freya and keep this, this ancient traditions, right? So maybe we could reach out to one of them and get them to come on and maybe like explain some of this to us.
Right. And it's about to get weird in the next one. Abello, Jalta's husband. Right. So it says Lindbergh and Katzberg under his care. Again, the Berg means a town. Right. Enoch, Dewick's husband. Enoch. It's spelled. Right. Gravitman over West Flyland and Texel. He was chosen 9 times for Sea King. Again, they have their own sort of informal elections. Warburg, Middlesburg, Forana, Freisberg under his care. So one of the ways the Proto-Indo-Europeans would choose a tribal leader is through tribal affiliate networks that are giving gifts, right? So you've seen the potlucks, right, in Native American societies where everybody gets together and brings a gift and they're all gifting the tribal leader. Those ancient symbols of patronage were how they would establish these different warlords, right? So the people who everyone's giving a gift to would become the leader. And if they stop giving gifts to him, he knows he's got to change his shit.
Right. Hey, Meat, are you Lithuanian, dude? Because you should look into like the ancient culture of Lithuania. Or like all those like, I don't know, Meat Cavern. I don't know if you're fucking with me or not. Nice Lithuanian girl. Yeah, go visit your country of origin and you can find somebody. You can find somebody from your ancient tribe or something. I don't know if y'all saw my post from this week, but I looked into my ancestry and found some of my like ancient like this house that my family, the name of my family was Garland at the time. And so I think I'll be doing an episode to present what I've found in my research, as well as my wife, dude. Her one of her ancestors was this Viking guard of the king. He was like 6'9" or something. He was huge. Yeah, dude. So,
Wow.
And my wife's, half her family has red hair. She's a natural redhead. So, it makes sense. But,
Ashish was telling us that there's a certain emergent property of DNA that is controlled by thought. So as you're creating your own mental world, you're actually forming your DNA. Everybody has it backwards. They think that DNA is an emergent property and then life comes from DNA, but it's actually the opposite. So, what you could do to influence your own DNA, it hasn't really been shown as having a limit yet. But that's kind of a huge new frontier.
I'm going to stop interrupting so we can get a little further.
I was just saying, is people people can think themselves into being autistic.
Right.
People can think themselves into cancer.
We talked about this, right? Yeah. And that goes with like the whole mental plane, right? Like how it's the strongest out of all of them. And it can affect everything else in the physical realm. So guys, like,
when your doctor tells you you're sick, it's like the most sure way to confirm that you're going to get sick. When the doctor tells you you have autism, that's the one sure way to know for a fact that you have autism. It took me a long time to get over this concept of ADHD, because I was diagnosed with it as a kid, and I was so in my head convinced that I am ADHD. And yeah, sure, I have trouble paying attention, but it's more of a matter of I was doing it to myself than anything else. Is because the doctor said, "Hey, your kid's retarded," to my mom, and I heard that and said, "Oh, I'm retarded." So my entire school life was spent being retarded and convinced that I could not be not retarded.
When the doctor tells you you're sick, you tell him to go fuck himself, and you say, "Actually, I'm not sick. You're sick."
Right.
And there you go.
Well, I didn't have that knowledge back in the 90s, neither did my mom. So
your mom wouldn't have allowed that, but
this is why we got to keep the Orlinda alive.
Well, hey, I am very happy that it landed on this. And I think, guys, we have another 30 minutes before we have to get out of here. So, we'll see how far we can get. Headless, do you want to keep reading? Or Rat,
Sure.
do you want to cut in? Or Headless, do you want to finish this page and maybe
I'll keep going, and then Rat can take over. Bop, Dumro's husband, Gravitman, over the 7 islands. He was 5 times Sea King. The town Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Valhalla. Yeah, Valhalla. Right. This was inscribed upon the walls of Freysburg in Texland, as well as Stavia and Miedelsblick. It was Freya's day, and 7 times 7 years had elapsed since Festa appointed Volksmotor by the desire of Freya. The citadel of Miedelsblick was ready, and Bergmagden was chosen. Festa was about to light upon her new lamp when she had done so in the presence of all the people. Freya called from her watchstar so that everyone could hear it. Festa, take your style and write the things that I may not speak. Festa did as she was bid, and thus we became Freya's children, and our earliest history began.
Rat, do you want to read this?
This is, sure. This is our earliest history. Ralda, who alone is eternal and good, made the beginning. Then commenced time. Time wrought all things, even the earth. The earth bore grass, herbs, and trees, all useful and all noxious animals. All that is good and useful she brought forth by day, and all that is bad and injurious by night. After the 12th Julfest, she brought forth 3 maidens. Lyda out of the fierce heat, Finda out of strong heat, and Freya out of moderate heat. When the last came into existence, Ralda breathed his spirit upon her in order that men might be bound to him. As soon as they were full grown, they took pleasure and delight in the visions of Ralda. Hatred found its way among them. They each bore 12 sons and 12 daughters, at every jewel time a couple. Thence come all mankind. Leda was black, with hair curled like a lamb's. Her eyes shone like stars, and shot out glances like those of a bird of prey. Leda was acute. She could hear a snake glide and could smell a fish in the water. Leda was strong and nimble. She could bend a large tree, yet when she walked, she did not bruise a flower stalk. Leda was violent. Her voice was loud, and when she screamed in anger, every creature quailed.
All right.
Wonderful Leda. She had no regard for laws. Her actions were governed by her passions. To help the weak, she would kill the strong, and when she had done it, she would weep by their bodies. Poor Lyda. She turned gray by her mad behavior, and at last she died, heartbroken by the wickedness of her children. Foolish children. They accused each other of their mother's death. They howled and fought like wolves, and while they did this, the birds devoured the corpse. Who can refrain from tears at such a recital? Finda was yellow, and her hair was like the mane of a horse. She could not bend a tree, but where Lida killed one lion, she killed 10. Finda was seductive. Her voice was sweeter than any bird's. Her eyes were alluring and enticing, but whoever looked upon them became her slave. Finda was unreasonable. She wrote thousands of laws, but she never obeyed one. She despised the frankness of the good and gave herself up to flatterers. That was her misfortune.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Just a second.
Yeah.
What are they doing? What is this? Do you guys know?
I mean, this is what I've seen. They've created 3 races, right? Black, Asian, and Aryan. I mean, is that what's going on?
Right. They're putting the spirits of a people into a poem, right? And then they're playing out that poem as mythology, just like the Greeks did with their mythology. It sounds very, very similar to Greek mythology. The way that it's mythologized is very similar in style between this and the Greek form. So if you go read the theogony, you'll see exactly what I mean. All of these different ways of sort of producing this mythology, this is very European. It's not found anywhere else. So it's a very good indicator of, origin. So I'm not sure what the style would be called, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Proto-European?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Finda was unreasonable. She wrote thousands of laws, but she never obeyed one. She despised the frankness of the good and gave herself up to flatterers. That was her misfortune. Her head was too full, but her heart was too vain. She loved nobody but herself, and she wished that all should love her. False Finda, honey sweet were her words, but those who trusted them found sorrow at hand. Selfish Finda, she wished to rule everybody, and her sons were like her. They made their sisters serve them, and they slew each other for the mastery. Treacherous Finda, one wrong word would irritate her, and the cruelest deeds did not affect her. If she saw a lizard swallow a spider, she shuddered, but if she saw her children kill a Frisian, her bosom swelled with pleasure.
Wow. That's crazy.
Unfortunate Finda. She died in the bloom of her age, and the mode of her death is unknown. Hypocritical children. Her corpse was buried under a costly stone. Pompous inscriptions were written on it, and loud lamentations were heard at it, but in private not a tear was shed. Despicable people. The laws that Finda established were written on golden tables, but the object for which they were made was never attained. The good laws were abolished, and selfishness instituted bad ones in their place. Oh, Finda. Then the earth overflowed with blood, and your children were mown down like grass. Yes, Finda, those were the fruits of your vanity. Look down from your watchstar and weep.
Holy shit. Dude, what's this watchstar?
Well, again, you're talking about the
Polaris?
all of the myths are in the sky, right? I mean, all of these different spirits come down through the sky. So she's, all these spirits have watch
down
stars
from your heaven. Yeah, your star.
Right. And so the spirits of a people can be found in the heavens as well. And that's one thing that you notice in the, tribal cultures have their own asterisms. Right. And so these are the spirits they speak to.
Let's see. All right. Freya. Freya was white like the snow at sunrise, and the blue of her eyes vied with the rainbow. Beautiful Freya, like the rays of the sun shone the locks of her hair, which were as fine as spiders' webs. Clever Freya, when she opened her lips, the birds ceased to sing and the leaves to quiver. Powerful Freya, the glance of her eye, the lion lay down at her feet, and the adder withheld its poison. Pure Freya, her food was honey, and her beverage was dew gathered from the cups of the flowers.
Dude, my wife had a dream not too long ago where she was being fed honey. I don't know. Yeah. This was right around the time that I started to kind of dig into, ancestral faiths and stuff, getting into, my ancestry as well. So
PBW Freya. No.
there's that.
Subliminal is BBW Freya.
That's how, hey.
Yeah.
The description's beautiful. And you see that depicted in the art as well. I mean, in some of these cultures, some of these goddesses are described as being hideous, I don't know if, I'm sure there's a lot of symbolic stuff there as well and we get into these deities being dualistic in nature and the intention behind the worship of them, like the positive or negative aspects of them and the polarities that you can access through, let me repeat myself again, intentional rituals or prayer or meditation, whatever kind of spiritual practice you do. But
anyway. Isn't it funny that the purity is listed as honey and her beverages was dew? Like these are very highly nature-based purity standards, right? Mm-hmm. So only through the bees can you get honey, and only through the dawn can you get dew. And so the idea is purity is tied to the land, which is not at all what we find with modern Abrahamic religions.
Wow. Where'd you leave off?
Sensible Freya.
Okay.
The first lesson that she taught her children was self-control, and the second was the love of virtue. When they were grown, she taught them the value of liberty, for she said, without liberty, all other virtues serve to make you slaves and to disgrace your origin.
Oh.
Generous Freya. She never allowed metal to be dug from the earth for her own benefit, but when she did it, it was for the general use.
Oh, hold on, let me.
Can I keep going?
Headless really wants to read, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Headless, go for it, dude. Go for it, brother.
Most happy Freya, like the starry host in the firmament, her children clustered around her. Wise Freya, when she had seen her children reach the 7th generation, she summoned them all to Flyland, and there she gave her text, saying, "Let this be your guide, and it can never go ill with you." Exalted Freya, when she had thus spoken, the earth shook like the sea over Alda. The ground of Flyland sunk beneath her feet. The air was dimmed by her tears, and when they looked for their mother, she was already risen. To her watching star, and then at length thunder burst from the clouds, and lightning wrote upon the firmament, "Watch!" Far-seeing Freya, the land from which she had risen was now a stream, and except her text that was all in it was overwhelmed. Obedient children, when they came to themselves, again they made this high mound, and built this citadel upon it, and the walls they wrote the text, and that everyone should be able to find it, and they called the land about it Textland. Therefore, it shall remain as long as the earth shall be the earth. So I think that last part right there, the high, that's a really good question. I'm not sure, but there was a place in Samaria that was dedicated to the goddess. What's her name? Help me out. The main goddess in
Ashara?
Astarte?
No, it starts with an I.
Ishtar?
Ishtar.
Inanna.
Yeah, Ishtar and Anna. They had a whole city built for Ishtar and Anna where they would keep the philosophies of the goddess. Like that's what it was for. And so I think it was Ashurbanipal. Ashurbanipal could be it. I'd have to look back into it. But the entire idea is that there was a city devoted solely and specifically to the goddess.
Wow.
I think every city's been dedicated to the goddess ever since, but people just lost sight of it.
Textland. Let me look into this real fast, guys.
Well, this is Freya's text. right? So prosperity awaits the free. At last they shall see me again. Though him only can I recognize as free, who is neither a slave to another nor to himself. This is my counsel. When in dire distress and when mental and physical energy avail nothing, then have recourse to the spirit of Aralda. But do not appeal to him before you have tried all other means. For I tell you, beforehand, and time will prove its truth, that those who give way to discouragement sink under their burdens.
Hey,
Don't
so
approach God unless you've done everything yourself.
Headless, the Oera motor is the primeval mother, and then Texland is the island of Texel.
Weird.
What the hell?
Let's go there. Let's see if we can uncover these stone slabs with all of Aralda's teachings.
Texel is a municipality and an island with a population of 13,846 in North Holland, Netherlands.
Yes, sir. Real close.
Okay. So
Now we're
this is
getting
right there in
somewhere.
Denmark. This is in the middle of where all of our ancestors would have been, right?
This is Friesland, right? Holland, Netherlands, all that area. There's this little strip of land. Have you pulled up the Friesland map yet? Usually they have it right there in the beginning.
They do?
The Friesland. No, I didn't see it. It's not in this version.
Oh, fuck me.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, I was going to say, let me see if they have it in the PDF. Maybe they have it in the file. Rat, they said you sounded disappointed when you were reading this.
No, that's Siemens.
I got it
That's
right here.
Z-Man's interpretation.
No, that's Siemens' wife. It's not. It's nothing to be concerned about.
All right, there it is. I got it pulled up.
It's the opinion of a woman. It can be discarded. Love you, Z-Man's woman. I'm joking.
I got it. Yeah, there we go. So that's all Friesland is. That's all it is right there, right? So Holland is over here, right? Friesland is right here, right? It's just this little tiny cove. And this is what they were trying to keep free from all the rest of everybody else trying to encroach in on them. That's it. What does that tell you? If they've had this many struggles of people trying to change the character of their people, and they're this just tiny little area in Germany, what does that tell you?
Oh, man.
It's ubiquitous.
Yeah, I can't help but see parallels and similarities in the situation that we find ourselves in today.
Oh yeah,
it's uncanny to say the least. I mean, it's to say that this would be a coincidence. I mean, it seems like this is just a playbook that the ruling class has kind of used over time, over and over.
It's funny. I was thinking about the interview I did on No Way Jose the other day, and he had asked me an interesting question because we kind of got into Gnosticism because that's really my subject of interest, and especially like first, second century like histories of the Christianities. And he was talking about he had asked me about these different Gnostic groups and is it possible that these smaller Gnostic groups were infiltrated or, undermined from the inside as well, or if it was just like the main Orthodox Christianity, and I hadn't really thought of it at the time because it never really occurred to me to really think of it in that way. But I mean, the more I look into it, and it's like, yeah, I mean, as soon as these starters, like Valentinus, the starter of Valentinian Christianity, once he died and it went to his disciples and his church, the entire cosmology of Valentinian Christianity completely changed. As soon as Marcion died and his church went to his followers, the entire religion of Marcionism changed. As soon as Basilides went died and his disciples took over the church, so that their entire Christianity changed. Sethians as well. It's like as soon as the starters, as soon as the people who had the vision died, I mean, unless you got a really, really good, strong, firm base, I mean, your religion is changing. You are not in control of it once you're gone. The same thing. I mean, it's like, Jesus, as soon as
they get into Jesus in this book, actually, they talk about him.
I'll bet. I mean, as soon as Paul died, his message was corrupted and changed. As soon as
Sethians sounds a whole lot like Scythians, and if you're going to do the whole thing about Phrygia and Friesland, come on, the Sethians. They were some of the original Christians. So to think that there wasn't like very, very early contact within these different societies and how they formed this book, it's just ridiculous. But that's the argument, is there's no way Friesland could be touching this many parts of the world. It's like, fuck you. They were a naval civilization. They had all sorts of contact with all this stuff. And this entire book was meant to be memorized. It was never meant to be written down. It was only
that's the craziest part. And it states that at the beginning, man. It's like, this is only to be reiterated from the mouths of your wives and daughters.
Right.
So it's like, it's to be relayed by the priestesses. And my wife, we were we were talking, and she was like, wow. She was like, yeah, you go back and it's like the priest class completely overtook everything, and they started the women couldn't even enter the temples at a certain time, right? Like it
comes to the priest class, never listen to what they say, only watch what they do.
That judge them by their fruits, right? By their actions.
Yeah, 100%.
And you can, yeah, absolutely, dude. So where I was going to say, we have about another 5 or 10 more minutes if y'all want to.
Can we get through the Freya's?
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead, Headless.
To Weralda's spirit, only shall you bend the knee in gratitude, thrice fold for what you have received, for what you do receive, and for what you hope in the aid in time of need.
Wait. Hold on. Are you okay, here we go. I got it.
Can you switch the screen over to that?
Is it? Oh yeah, my bad, dude.
I can do it.
How can you do it?
It says it right there at the top.
Oh, there we go. Oh, you have it pulled up too. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't need it then. We're good.
You have seen how speedily I have come to your assistance. Do likewise to your neighbor, but wait not for his entreaties. Don't wait for him to ask. Go help. The suffering would curse you, my maidens, would erase your name from the book, and I would regard you as a stranger. Let not your neighbor express his thanks to you on bended knee, which is only due to Weralda's spirit. Envy would assail you, wisdom would ridicule you, and my maidens would accuse you of irreverence if anyone bowed to you. 4 things are given for your enjoyment: air, water, land, and fire. But Weralda is the sole possessor of them. Therefore, my counsel to you is to choose upright men who will fairly divide the labor and the fruits, so that no man shall be exempt from work or from the duty of defense. If ever it should happen that one of your people should sell his freedom, he is not of you. He is a bastard. I counsel you to expel him and his mother from the land. Repeat this to your children, morning, noon, and night, till they think of it in their dreams.
Oh,
shit, dude. They were serious.
If any man, if any man shall deprive another, even his debtor, of his liberty, let him to be to you as a vile slave. And I advise you to burn his body and that of his mother in an open place, and bury them 50 feet below the ground, so that no grass shall ever grow upon them. It would poison your cattle.
Oh my God, dude.
These were fucking serious people about freedom.
let's keep going because let's finish these up and then we'll get out of here, guys.
Meddle not with the people of Lydda or the Finda, because Weralda would help them, and any injury that you inflicted on them would recoil upon your own heads. So, in other words, just leave them alone. Don't even bother with them. If it should happen that they come to you for advice or assistance, then it behooves you to help them. But if they should rob you, then fall upon them with fire and sword.
Oh, base, dude. Let's fucking go. I mean, that's really, yeah. We're not taught that, you know?
Oftentimes, by the time they choose to rob you, it's already too late.
Or it's like, yeah. Or it's like, you know, give them your stuff, right?
Right.
Don't let them rob you. Just give them all your stuff anyway.
Romans 15:27. If any of them should seek a daughter of yours to be wife, and she is willing to explain her folly, but if she will follow her lover, let her go in peace.
Okay, so it says if any of them should seek a daughter of yours to wife, meaning from the tribes of Finda or
Lydda,
it's saying explain to her and she is willing, explain to her her folly. So it's basically like tell her like, you know, this is a mistake. You know,
you're a silly willy. Don't
but
you
if
go
she
miscegenate
her lover, let
willy.
her go. So I guess it's just saying, you know, let her go in peace.
Yeah, that's not working. All right.
Yeah. Well, this was written so long
Well,
ago.
they're not going, right? Like that's the thing. Like the daughter's coming back home. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
With the grandchild in tow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
Right.
Absolutely right.
If your son wishes for a daughter of theirs, do the same as your daughter, but let not either one or the other ever return among you. For they would introduce foreign morals and customs. And if these were accepted by you, I could no longer watch over you. Upon my servant Fasta, I have placed all my hopes. Therefore, you must choose her for earmoder. Follow my advice, and she will hereafter remain my servant, as well as all the sacred maidens who succeed her. Then shall the lamp which I have lighted for you never be extinguished. Its brightness shall always illuminate your intellect, and you shall always remain as free from foreign domination as your fresh river water is distinct from the salton sea. Yeah,
so she handed her priestesshood down to Fasta, and then we will next time we read Orlinda, guys, we will pick up on where Fasta this has Fasta spoken. And I mean, dude, there's a lot. There's a lot in here, I think, that is linked to like the prose Edda as well, you know, kind of depicting all the gods as warlords, you know, and kings and you know, these great voyagers and sea kings, right? So this stuff is fascinating. But
it's our history too.
It's our history.
That people
it is our history.
Picking up on.
Yeah,
it's like this directly influenced the British. The British people spoke the dialect of these people as they came across that little narrow strait. So you could actually speak Old English to people in the Netherlands who speak an older dialect, and they'll
understand.
Right. So this is our erased history. This is erased for us. They don't want us to hear it. So it's very important that you hear it.
Based Freya. Yeah, tyranny. And the fact that we're told, you know, this is a fallen angel, or like, shut the fuck up, man. I can't, you know, and she's the depiction of the beauty and just like, you know, but we're told that some of these angels that are grotesque and hideous are the ones that are sent to give us these divine messages. And it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe in some cases, it depends on, like I said, this depends on how you view things, right? Your view on everything, your perception of reality, and your perception of our ethos.
All right, guys,
Whenever
take note of the page number. I'm about to go search something real quick.
Okay.
It's
Z-Man wants to
page
hear you
60.
read old English again, Rat.
Oh,
Well, we now know to replace the F's with the S's. And guys, I've been
Right.
working on my Norse pronunciations. We will be reading either the Volsunga or Volsunga sagas or the Havamal. We added that, which is the wisdom of Odin, and it's incredible. I mean,
So
it's fascinating, and it's
I put in there.
very
I put in
like common things that we should just know as men to follow, and like rules on drinking and eating together, like what you should not overindulge and all this stuff. It's like you're getting wisdom from this old guy, this old dude with one eye, sitting up on this oak tree. But anyway.
Right. So I just wanted to show, I misspelled Phrygian, right? To make it more Phrygian, I misspelled it. But the Phrygian cap is the symbol for freedom, right? And these are the Phrygian people, and it's pronounced the exact same. And what are they obsessed with? Fucking liberty and freedom.
Well, the Phrygian cap was supposed to be placed on the figure. Was it Athena? That's at the capital, or which?
Any of them from that region, which includes Perseus and all the rest of these other gods and demigods, they were all wearing the Phrygian cap. It's so ubiquitous.
But they
In that time
hijacked the
to
Phrygian cap, and then they use it, right? I think Subliminal
Communism.
said
Now it's
they used it in the Olympics. They've
Now
hijacked
it's used for
it in
communism.
schools.
Olympics is part of Greek tradition, but if you look at the French Revolution, they were all wearing the Phrygian cap to bring about communism. So they switched it during the French Revolution time period to be a symbol of communism.
There you go, Subliminal. Because Subliminal was like, I don't know about the Phrygian cap. I was like, dude, I'm telling you, it meant something else originally. And you have to go and you have to look at a lot of this stuff, guys. Yeah. They wouldn't allow the statue at the Capitol to wear the Phrygian cap. They put like a rooster on her head or something. They put some other hat.
Right, but you know who did that specifically?
Who?
That was the president of the Confederate States of America. That was what's his name? Anyways, he was still in Congress at the time, and he was Lee Jackson King. What was his name? No, not Lee Jackson. Anyways, the president of the Confederacy said that they don't want the Phrygian cap because that was the symbol of the freed slave in Rome. So they had to change it over to a turkey because he didn't want to free the slaves.
Dude.
Was it Jefferson Davis?
Jefferson Davis. There we go.
That's crazy, guys. Telling you. Yeah. I'm gonna wear a Phrygian cap and do wiseacre activity. Yeah, no, Subliminal. We gotta bring it back. We gotta rebrand it for its original meaning of freedom, guys. This stuff should free us, right? This is
That's right. It's where it's free comes from. Phrygian free.
Yeah.
Frida.
Yeah.
And you get a very different vision of what liberty is by reading the Oera book, which I think is very much more in line with the original intent of the word liberty. I mean, if you look it up, the Proto-Indo-European definition of liberty is being a member of a people, which is exactly what they're talking about in the Oera book.
It's okay. It's okay, Felix. Join the Patreon, dude. That's one way to make sure that you will never miss an esoteric book review. Next week, I think we landed on what was it, Rat? Pistis Sophia?
Epic of Gilgamesh and Pistis Sophia.
Epic of Gilgamesh and Pistis Sophia. So
I think we should start with Pistis.
Let's start with Pistis. We'll do that to the public, and then we will cut to the Patreon and do Epic of Gilgamesh, because I got a lot to unpack in there. You know, we're going to be reading about a bunch of deities in this certain region, and we're going to do a little bit of Elohim etymology with that, guys. We're going to kind of talk about.
Take a look real quick and see where we are in the Pistis Sophia, because
This is Pistis Sophia, the third, part 3. So not part 3 in the text, but episode 3 of it. Well, not episode.
It's an incredibly big book.
Something, but yes,
it's huge. Yeah. We're on. I lied. I don't have the spot saved, but
I may.
Let me take a look. See,
I'm going to bring up this stuff while you look. Guys, yeah, I'm going to be doing a stream on what I found on Ancestry here probably this week. Let me pull this up, though. I pulled this up on the episode with Austin Picard last night. Here's one of my family crests. And I thought this was pretty interesting. And you see a lot of night helms in most crests, but I see the Pegasus horse, right? Headless, what kind of flower is that?
I'm looking. Which flower? Oh, in their mouth.
Yeah. It's not a blue rose. I was like, is that a blue rose? And then like Twin Peaks flashed before my eyes.
I'm not sure. I'm going to look up blue flower motif. We're going to see if we can find it.
But Subliminal sent me some stuff. He looked back to his where his ancestors come from in Spain, and they had the same kind of crest with the knight's helm. They had a shield with different symbols on it. I have a griffin on mine and a wreath. And then, I mean, you could almost, dude, these tassels right up here almost are like entwining serpents.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
I think we might be on something. Cornflower.
Wait, what?
What do you think? Cornflower?
Cornflower. I did have ancestors from Cornwall. So,
well, cornflower is basically a ubiquitous weed, right? So it grows everywhere.
Here's another one, guys. Let me.
I think that's what it could be.
Let me bring this up.
Blue centaur.
Blue centaur.
Yeah, commonly known as cornflower, bachelor's button, among other names, is a flowering plant in the family Asteraceae, native to Europe. In the past, it grew as a weed in cornfields in the broad sense of corn, referring to grains such as barley. Corn is a European word, obviously. Hence its name. It is now endangered. Its native habitat by agricultural intensification, particularly overuse of herbicides. However, Centaurea cyanus is also naturalized in many other parts of the world, including North America and parts of Australia, though introduction is seen as an ornamental plant in gardens as a seed. So what do you think?
I don't know, man. I might have to do a little more research on it, but
look at that. That's close, right?
Yeah.
Real close, damn close.
I think, hold on, let me pull. So yeah, guys, you see right here is more of a lion than a griffin. Here, let me pull this up. Hold on.
Oh, and on the Pistis Sophia, we're on chapter 25. We're going to talk about Melchizedek, the coming of Melchizedek.
Oh, shit. Okay, guys. Yeah, so this next Saturday is going to be a fucking banger. I invited Stax to join us today. I don't know if he can make it, so maybe he'll join us next Saturday. I'm going to try and get more and more people in here. Yeah, Headless, I'll let you know what else I find on my ancestry. I'm still looking back. My oldest ancestors that go back 10 generations and beyond that are Swedish, Norwegian, and Greek. So, yep.
It could be blue flax. So that's what
I was gonna pull up. No, I'm sorry, dude. Go ahead.
No, he was saying in the chat that it could be blue flax because the petals were wrong, which he could be right.
Here's an ancestor of mine. I had his name.
It's an incredibly small flower.
But this is pretty cool to see someone who is related to me from that long ago.
Wow, I see it.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, yeah. There's other pictures of guys, and I'm like, wait a minute, that looks like my grandfather, you know? But these are like my fourth great, like 4 generations of great grandfathers, great great grandfathers, and such. So, because Preston means priest's son, right? That's my last name. My grandmother's maiden name is Downing. My other grandmother's maiden name is Hackney. I'm looking into that. Dude, I mean, yeah, when you go further back, the Downings and the Garlands were connected. So, but I mean, that goes to say, dude, I don't know, man. It's just crazy how I started getting into all these guilds of knights and like the the orders of the quest and all this stuff right around the time I find all this out. At the age of 33, I don't know. You can call it synchronicities, destiny, maybe. I don't know, guys. But this was a fun EBR today. Headless, let everybody know where they can find you and what you got coming.
You can find me on YouTube and on Instagram and X. Just look up Headless Giant. You'll find it there, hopefully. And yeah, I got the trialogues with Ethan, Indigo, and Ricardo coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, check that out.
Oh yeah, Neff. Illuminati confirmed, guys. I go back to Isaac Wiseup. Just kidding. Not I don't know about that. My wife has seen more of her ancestors, who they actually were, than I have mine. I think she sent her DNA into Ancestry. I did 23andMe, so I'm going to send it into Ancestry as well. Maybe I can find out where my adopted grandfather's his Germanic roots come from. I know that's where my Germanic 20% Germanic DNA comes from, is from him. The one who was adopted by the Jewish family. And because when you like, they'll show me pictures of him and it's with like his adopted father. And I'm like, yeah, that's not, they look nothing alike. I'll show you a picture, Headless. You're going to be like, holy shit. Yeah, no, he definitely is. Your grandfather doesn't look like his father. I mean, if I would have seen it when I was younger, I don't know. My mom didn't tell me until I was like almost 21. She's like, oh yeah, by the way, your grandfather was adopted. I'm like, wait, so the Jews in our family aren't related to us? No. You mean I'm not
same
Jewish?
thing? It's the same thing on my literally the same thing on my dad's side. My grandma was raised by Jews, but she was adopted, so she's not actually Jewish.
I think they did this, dude. I think there was a push for Jewish families to do this back around like post World War I or II. They would get these, orphan Gentile children. Like if my grandfather was from Germany or whatever, I mean, it makes sense. And they would adopt them. They pushed him. My mom even told me they pushed her growing up to marry a Jewish man, right? Because I think that they knew deep down that he wasn't Jewish and that they pushed him. He married my grandmother, who was raised Baptist. She converted. And then, my mom married my dad, who was raised in Church of Christ. And so they're kind of just like, oh, okay. Well, we tried, I guess. But no, I'm keeping my bloodline strong and European. So, and that's like me finding out about my identity and stuff. It's had a big effect on me. And so y'all have kind of been here to see it, right? All you guys who have watched my show from the very beginning, you were here with me with dealing with the stuff with my father-in-law. I was kind of getting radicalized at the same time. And, the JQ and like the whole, all this other stuff, y'all have been here to experience it with me. So, love you guys. Love you guys. Rat, I'm going to stop talking. Where can people find you?
Yeah, well, I mean, you could find me at Season of the Rat on X, on Season of the Rat channel on Rumble and YouTube, but I don't really post stuff on YouTube yet. You can also find me and Subliminal later on today on the Disagree to Agree channel on Rumble. And you could find me on Bandcamp at escapesaturn.bandcamp.com, where you can purchase my album, Where We Are. And we're talking about Family Crest, and I was interested because I have more of a clear family lineage on my mom's side than I do on my father's side, which actually comes from the Silva family, which is a Spanish Spanish lineage, and they have a crest here. If I could share it real quick,
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
I think you
I love this.
you'd like that.
I think we should all do this. Look into where we come from.
Right.
It's just a dude. It helps you like figure out kind of who you are in a weird way. I don't. It's hard to describe if you haven't experienced it, dude. Yes.
That
It's so cool how each crest is different in some way. Like,
Yeah.
because people could say like, oh yeah, they just copy pasted all this stuff, and like no, because I've tried to like look for that myself. Like, this is too good to be true, or like no, each crest that I have seen from every single person I've seen post one is.
I
all
thought
different.
I thought this was made up too. Like when I typed in like the lineage of the Silva family, it's like they're like, oh, the Silva goes back blah blah
dude.
blah in Spain, and they have this crest, and
European.
I was like, they just make that shit up, right? Yeah, well, it's Spain, it's Europe, yeah,
yeah.
So but like there are like dozens of different renditions of this exact crest, and they're slightly different, but they're all pretty much this. You got the lion on the shield with the crown, and you have the knight's helmet guarding it, and I'm not entirely sure what it means, but after a little digging, I'll be able to find it for sure. Wanted to share that because that was a little fun thing I came across the other day when I was trying to look into at least my family history on my father's side, which good fucking luck me. It's yeah. So we're
Asian,
no. It's the German side, but
okay.
But what I do know is that my father's family has been in America since the 17th century. So that's
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, mine. I figured out mine was in Virginia, and I found this out on 23andMe. But looking at Ancestry, my family built a church in North Carolina. Yeah, like all this really cool shit. They started this one woman started this like heritage foundation for white women. Like, yeah, dude,
Wow.
it's really cool shit for like European white women. Yeah, like it's so like I said, guys, I'll be presenting it on an episode. But yeah, Rat, we should get together and maybe you guys can join me. We can all present our family crest.
see who's the coolest crest.
Oh yeah,
Compare crests.
yeah, dude.
You
We
do
can
a little
a poll or something.
crest comparing. Little.
Yeah. Guys, go and support Subliminal Messenger. Go over to the D2A channel and watch them later. You can go to building7.printify.me and buy a lot of merch. We don't make hardly anything off of it, but it's a good way to support the show and the brand. Gods of the Morning Wood. The show is still in its infancy, not even a year old. And so, we have a lot of books we got to read, right? We have a lot of knowledge on the horizon. So y'all all know where to follow me. Tyranny, try to fix that on Patreon or see if just make sure you're not paying for 2 tiers, man. Neff Hunter, it's good seeing you. Z-Man, Young Stitches, Def, all you guys. If y'all want to support the show, if you're not part of the Patreon, patreon.com/GrayPillPodcast. I'm going live in an hour with Broadcasting Seeds. Maybe going live. It may just be recorded. So I'm going to go and chill for a little bit. And maybe we'll see you guys tomorrow with A Rustic Gods, or if Headless isn't available, I'll do another show, but Headless will probably be available. So,
Always available.
yes, sir. This was a fun one today though, guys. So until next time. And oh yeah, next week we'll have all the links put up. We'll have the 2 Rumble streams going, so people can watch the first hour on Rumble. They weren't able to today, so we may have not had everyone here that is usually here. But yeah, guys. Until next time, fear nothing, question everything, and stay gray-pilled. Later.
We got Jules from Gray Pilled Podcast joining us tonight as well. What is up, Jules? You're muted, bud. Sorry, you're muted. He's like, fuck, I gotta start all over again.
Oh, thank you, Nick. I'm always muted.
Jules, you crushed it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Let's bring in Gray Pilled. Sir, how are you?
What's going on, man? Do you know what an egregore is?
And all of a sudden, she's saying things that start to make less and less sense to me.
You have this legacy now as the handsome faggot.
Buy a Phrygian cap, fear nothing, and question everything, guys.
Yes.
Stay grateful. Inky wasn't directly his son, since he was an egg birth and came from like an asexual reproduction.
Best way I can put it is she shapeshifted into a reptilian.
Did you say egg?
Yeah.
She grew like almost a couple of feet tall, turned green, scales, big ass teeth, yellow eyes. Dude, I practically shit myself.
Hey, we're conspiracy theorists here, guys. This is Gray Pill. This isn't Timcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning and welcome back to the Gray Pill Podcast. I am your host, Jules, the Mississippi Mystic, the Elohim etymologist, the sound scientist. Guys, be sure to like the stream. Don't be a faggot.
I look behind me. There's like this 6 foot tall reptilian in my ex-girlfriend's nightgown chasing me down the hall. You don't love me anymore. The sky outside was blood red, and I'm like, oh shit, did I die?
Animalistic, carnal nature that's inside of you. It's keeping it at bay, right? It's stepping on Typhon as Hermes.
It's the Great Pill Podcast, dropping jewels with jewels on the Great Pill Podcast. Time to school all these fools on the Great Pill Podcast.
Welcome to the Gray Pilled Podcast.